behind the scenes with me in Zoom, do a little magnetic influence dance with me because I can see all your beautiful faces and your incredible energy. If you're watching us here live out in the world, you can even join us behind the scenes in Zoom by going to myholisticbiz.com/magnetic, and you can join us here. If you're watching the replay, those of you out in live stream land and watching the replay, put the word replay in the comments down below so that we know who you are and where you are and what you're up to. And if you're just joining us and wherever you're watching this, say hi in the chat and put where you're joining from. It's a really cool opportunity to connect and network with each other today as well. It's very, very cool. So put, again, even if you've already done it because more people have joined, put where you are and where you're joining from in the chat. So you are about to learn. You're in such an incredible place because you're about to learn from 9 women experts in holistic business as they reveal their secrets to boost your impact, your income, and effortlessly attract your dream clients. What do you love about that? Put it in the chat. Is it income? Is it impact? Is it clients? Put it in the chat. And you're doing this so that you can focus on your freedom and living your purpose. How many of you are a yes for that? Put yes in the chat. And as I was saying behind the scenes to all my behind the scenes Zoom people, this live stream is for you. So the more you interact, the more you'll get out of it. In this powerful, it's like a one-day incubator training where you're going to discover how to leverage your time for financial independence and success. You'll unleash your own magnetic power to become a sought-after expert in your field. By the way, what is your field? What is it that you do? Try to put it into 3 words or less and put it in the chat for us so we can get to know you. What do you do? Put it in the chat. Jennifer, Lisa, Gloria, Holly, Leslie, Tatiana, Rachel, Tanya, Debbie, put it in the chat for us. Taya, Beth, Ruth, Deidre, Beverly, put it in the chat. Danielle, 2 Danielles, Siva, put it in the chat for us. What do you do in 3 words or less? Because today you're also going to access the secrets to building a heart-centered platform from women who have truly walked the path and built magnetic businesses. And my dedication is that we do it with no overwhelm. We do it with no burnout. Who's with me for that? Put yes to like no overwhelm, no burnout, no spinning out, a stress-free business. I love what you all do. It's really incredible. Like all the powerful things that you do. Angelic support, cancer wellness specialist, intuitive author, life's wisdom, leadership development, network marketing, transforming purpose into profit, self-love mentor. Like you women are incredible. Holistic energy alignment. You women are incredible and your voices are needed just as much as the speakers who are coming in here today. How many of you have noticed like we're in a time on our planet, and we have been in a time on our planet for the last few years where there's a lot happening and there's a lot moving and there's a lot of stress and there's a lot of suffering out there. So I would like to dedicate that this entire live stream contributes to the ending of suffering of everybody on the planet in some way. That maybe we have an ROI, a ripple of impact, like a true ROI that comes from our hearts. Put that in the comments down below if you want to have a heart-centered ROI that ripples out into the world because of what you do. So what's your intention for being here today? Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments what your intention is for being here. Really, really excited to be here with you all, whether you're wherever you're watching this. Put your intention. Heart-centered ROI is coming in the chat. I love that. So what's your own intention? Like, what do you want to do in your business? What do you want to get out of this day? If you could walk away with one powerful thing, what would it be? Take a deep breath. What is the one thing that you're walking away from this day with? I'm going to take a sip of water while you write yours down. Always have your water with a straw when you're leading online or on stage so you don't spill it on yourself. I spill it on myself otherwise. Okay. Rachel says inspiration and tools to reach and serve more spiritual women. I love it. You're absolutely in the right place. So when you have your why behind what you do, it's really powerful. And for those of you who are new to me, how many of you are new to me? Put new in the comments down below. If you're new, put new in the comments down below. If you're like, who's this woman? I don't even know her. Somebody else brought me here. Put new in the comments down below. My name is Elizabeth Ocean, and I'm the founder and creator of the Women's Holistic Business Academy, where I train women leaders to speak on stage, own their power as feminine leaders, holistic spiritual practitioners, and have success in their businesses. So I'm really excited that I'm on a mission to change the way that women do business, to change that. And we're in a new paradigm. I've been a holistic entrepreneur for over 30 years. I've been in this industry. I've done all the things. I've been a practitioner, a yoga teacher, a studio owner. I published a magazine. I produced large-scale transformational events. I've spoken on stages all over the world and spoken alongside some really incredible leaders like Lisa Nichols, Danielle Laporte, Jack Canfield, and many more. And through all of that, I've realized that there are certain systems and tools that you can use in your business and your speaking career that help you to reach more people. But through that, I've also learned that there's kind of a dark side to the marketing industry. A really long time ago, I burnt out. It was when I owned my yoga studio and was working like 18-hour days, 7 days a week. And that was really challenging. But what's been more challenging after suffering that burnout, there's always this feeling of oh, it's almost like a barometer. Like you always have that. How many of you have that? Put B in the comments. If you have that barometer for stress or overwhelm or burnout that like rises and you're like, whoa, can't go there. But what I've noticed over the past few years in the industry of online business, online coaching and marketing, that there is a dark side. And sometimes when I talk about this, I feel like I'm a whistleblower because what I see is that women are getting tools, but they're still burning out. They're still not having success. Even the tools that I was using, even the systems that I was using up until a couple of years ago, I was like, these are great. I'm just going to push. I'm just going to hustle. And guess what happened? It pushed me back into that path towards burnout. How many of you can relate? Now, nod your heads. Like I can remember feeling like, wait, I thought this was supposed to be my golden ticket. Like these systems, these teachers were supposed to be my path to freedom. And it didn't get me there. In fact, it pushed me deeper into feeling of burnout and overwhelm. And what's emerged over the past couple of years because of that is it's something in me. It might be the age that I'm at. It might be like the midlife crises that I've been going through over the past few years. It might be just like all of the years of being in business, but I am like, no more doing business in the old paradigm way. No more doing business in the old paradigm way and just putting a dress on it and calling it feminine, because that is not real and that is not true. And if you're here and you have tried things and you haven't had the success you wanted, if you have hoped that things would work and it didn't, if you've pushed harder than felt right for your heart or soul, and you're like, there must be something wrong with me, I'm here to tell you that that's not true. There's nothing wrong with you. You are a divine feminine leader, and you can do things in your way. And that's what I've had to do over the past few years, is extract myself from a system that was still pushing hustle and go, if this business is going to be truly sustainable, and I'm full-time in my business, I'm 100% responsible for 100% of my income. I don't have any external people paying for anything in my life. If this business is going to be sustainable and real, I have to do it my way, is what's come out of the last couple of years. How many of you can relate to this? Just put my way in the comments down below if you can relate. If you're just like, all the voices telling me I should do things in a certain way, but knowing that there's got to be a different way, this is what I'm standing for all of you right now. I am absolutely standing that you get systems today, and the women I work with in our long-term programs get systems and strategies that are truly heart-centered, that are truly healing you as you heal the world, and that are truly different and making a difference. And we're on the front leading edge of this emerging new paradigm. I've been taking training in trauma-informed sales. Take a deep breath into that. I've been taking and developing trainings and systems in ways to holistically hold clients rather than pushing them. How many of you are with me on that? Put yes if you're with me. Like we're here to actually lead a new paradigm, to not dress an old paradigm up in a dress and call it feminine, but to really truly lead. Is this speaking to you? If it is, put something in the comments for me. Like put a sentence in the comments for me. Like, what's it been like for you? Are you excited to move into a new paradigm? Is this lighting you up? What do you like about it? What have you suffered through? How long have you been in business? Put something in the chat for me because you're going to learn so much today. And as you put something in the chat, I'll just take another sip of water because I'm leading all day, so I got to drink a bunch of water. Tanya says, I am ready to transform. Oh, Gloria's been in business 2 years. How many years have y'all been in business? As you're writing your sentences in, like, what is it that you are? Rachel says, lights her up to let go of pushing and stress and too much masculine energy. It doesn't mean it's not going to be work. But guess what? We know how to work, don't we? But we know how to work a little too much. And the good news is that it is possible to shift and to change. So how many of you feel like you would like some support in auditing your business, your marketing, your systems, seeing what's not working and seeing what is working and get a little bit of help with it? How many of you would like to have my eyes on your business for 15 minutes? Put coach in the comments down below. If you're like, coach me, get your eyes on my business for 15 minutes and tell me what is working. Tell me what I need to stop doing and tell me what I can do to get more clients. Tell me what I can do to optimize my online marketing. Tell me what I can do to optimize my efforts and stop burning out. Put the word coach in the comments down below if you know that would be useful to you, because I have coaching sessions available. They're going to be free today, and I'm going to give those out to some of you. So stay tuned for those. And the other part of the good news is that you can do this. There is a new way. And I've been walking through business for decades and walking through this new paradigm over the past couple of years, and it is totally possible. Beverly says, a bluebird just landed on a tree outside her window and sang a song. Perfect. I hear you, Holly and Leslie and Taya and Rachel and Gloria and Tanya, who are saying coach. Okay, so you're going to learn from me 12 essential keys that every entrepreneur must use now in order to step into this new paradigm and be truly magnetic in her business. Because magnetic means, actually, what does magnetic mean to you? Before I answer it, what does magnetic mean to you? Put it in the comments down below. What is magnetic in your world? Because today's all about magnetic influence, not about pushing. It's not about an old system. It's about attraction. Exactly. It's about bringing people towards you. And there are certain ways to bring people towards you, to have people leaning into your world. So I'm so excited to bring all the speakers to you. And magnetic influence. So magnetic is pulling towards you, not pushing. And influence means to affect change without force. Everyone take a breath into that. And then let it out and go, and just feel how good that feels in your body and your heart, to affect change without force, to show your clients what it's like to live in this paradigm without forcing it. It is so very powerful. So I'm excited that in about 5 minutes time, we'll have our first speaker be coming up in about 5 minutes. But before we do that, can I teach you one of our first keys? Are you ready? Are you ready for the first key? Put yes in the comments down below if you are ready for it. You ready for it? Okay. Let's see if we can bring my magic desk cam up here and spotlight it with me so that I can give you all these beautiful keys. So number one, in being magnetic, not forcing or pushing, and if we can bring our desk cam up, we'll see if we can figure that out. Number one is to lead by example. So write that down. It means truly living what you teach. So lead by example. That's number one. Write that down. And I'm going to be doing a contest today that you post a picture of all your notes. So make your notes, like make pages of notes. I'm going to be doing a contest. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. So lead by example, meaning live what you teach. Don't just tell people to do something and live a different way. But the beautiful thing is, how many of you love what you do? Put love in the comments down below. If you're like, I love what I do. I love my products. I love my services. I want to talk about them all day. So live that, live into that, because leadership means leading by doing and being a living inspiration for your people. How many of you want to be a living inspiration? Hands on your heart and give me a nod. Like you are a living inspiration for what you do. And what that means, the lead by example, is that you get to be you. In fact, being you is essential to this because you can't lead by example of something that's not you. How many of you like the word authentic? Put authentic in the comments down below. If you're like, oh yeah, authentic means a lot to me. So if you like the word authentic, put it in the comments because it means that you are living what's true to you. And yes, it means you risk. You risk feeling like you were trying to win the approval of others. And guess what? They might not approve of what you do. If you're fully you and you're fully in your own zone of genius, they might not approve. And guess what? Take a deep breath. That's okay. And it actually, in order for you to be magnetic and stand out online, it is necessary, 100% necessary that you be you, 100%. So today, throughout this day, I recommend that you lean into what makes you different. Start to write a list. What makes you unique? And as you find your own voice in this world, your courage will grow in expressing it. And when you can do it in a group of other leaders who are doing it too, your courage will grow. How many of you know you need to have more courage? Put C in the comments down below. C for courage. If you're like, oh, I need to have courage to express my unique self, to lead by living it. So think about what makes you unique and what can give you courage. Like why do you do what you do? What fills your heart? Why do you love what you do? Being unique means also like being your quirky, weird self. If you like to swear, swear. If you like to paint rocks, do that. Like whatever it is that you really love to do, and then speak to people. Like I love to work with women entrepreneurs because I've been one for 32 years. I have done all sorts of different types of businesses, including products, brick and mortar, teaching, and it's all been in the holistic wellness realm. And so I love to teach what I've learned over the decades of doing this. I see a lot of people out there who've never run a business and they decide they want to be a business coach. It's a little bit concerning, but they can choose what they want to do and you can choose what you want to do. But whoever you work with, just know that the coaching that you're going to get from somebody who's been in business for decades is a little bit different than the coaching you're going to get from somebody who hasn't run a business. So that's one of the things that makes me unique. What's yours? What's something that makes you you? Put it in the comments down below right now, and we'll bring our beautiful desk cam down. This is number one, lead by example. Put something in the comments down below that makes you unique and really stands out to you. What stands out to you and makes you an amazing, unique expression? And what do you like about what I just said about living and leading? It actually makes it easier, doesn't it? You don't have to be something you're not. Your uniqueness. What is it that you like about what I just said? Put it in the comments. This is an interactive workshop. Beverly says, I walk my talk and speak my truth in all ways. Leslie has a sarcastic sense of humor. Oh, I love that. Rachel says her uniqueness is her connection to the angels. Exactly. So lean in to what makes you a unique expression. All right. So I'm so excited because we're about to bring up our very first speaker who is ready for our first magnetic speaker. Put ready in the comments down below. Put the word ready. And as we bring our amazing speakers up, oh, not Taya.
Yep,
Not Taya. We love you, Taya, but it's not you. It's Tatiana first. There she is. And we just love having Taya on screen for a second here with us because she's a magnetic, amazing leader. Tatiana, I'm so excited to have you here. Everybody, can you all do this with me? Sparkle fingers for the amazing Tatiana Ivanova here with us today. How are you? Oh, hold on. I might have to get my little headset in so that I can
I
hear
am
you.
amazing. Can you hear me?
I know, I can hear you.
I'm so honored to be here with you, such a beautiful group of women. Elizabeth, this is such an honor and pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Ah, you're so welcome. It's our pleasure as well. So let me take a moment to introduce you. For those of you who don't know Tatiana yet, she's incredible. I was on her summit. She leads summit. She's an amazing leader. So she is a purpose and alignment mentor. She's the founder of the Purpose to Profit Academy, which I was part of. And she's going to be sharing a little bit about monetizing soul gifts for purpose-driven entrepreneurs like all of you. How many of you want to monetize your soul gift? Put soul in the comments down below. If you're like, yes, let's make money off this and let's change people's lives while we're doing it. So Tatiana, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Let's start with, I just told everybody just a tiny bit about you, but can you just take us back to the beginning? How did you end up being this purpose to profit creator? What's your entrepreneurial journey been like?
Well, my purpose-driven entrepreneurial journey really started when I healed myself from a chronic, severe health condition, which I had suffered for over 18 years.
Oh,
And I said, I'm quitting my corporate world. I'm quitting 9 to 5. I'm getting certified as a mind body coach because I really want to heal people. I really want to serve. I really want to give what I know, what has helped me heal. So I just started healing people with my heart, with just pure purpose to help. And that organically grew into a coaching business. I was just so supported by the universe. It was like a miracle business, journey. And then as I started helping women heal, I witnessed them as they step into their power, as they stepped into their greatness, they realized there's more to their lives. There is more meaning, they're meant for more. And what I witnessed is they were really interested in the contribution, in serving others. And that's how I pivoted and I started helping women really step on the path of their purpose. That's what I've been doing for
oh,
over 7 years now.
I love that it started with a wellness journey because how many of the rest of you here started something and has been activated in you because of what you went through? Just raise your hand up so Tatiana can see it or put me in the comments down below if you've been through something. It's so powerful. Like, look at all the people who are like, yes, me too. Like, it really starts, and that's can help us really deepen into a true purpose. Oh, I love that. Okay, tell us what's been challenging other than in your business. Like you had that with your health, something that's been challenging in your incredible business that you've walked the path and what you've learned from it.
Yeah, so in business, it was interesting because even though I thought I knew the systems, I've hired business coaches and business mentors. Um, the connection to my soul was missing. The
Mm,
connection to true me was missing. The connection to my true message was missing. It wasn't really unlocked within me, and I wasn't really presenting myself, expressing myself in the most authentic way.
yeah,
That's when that unlocked, when I really stood, and I started sharing my message boldly and apologetically. And that's what shifted for me, for my business, for my profit. So
yeah.
the power of my message. And then also, the mindset of service and contribution to the world. We're here for others. It's not about us. It's really about serving the world. So those two shifts, sharing my message boldly and then serving people on
Sharing
my
your message
highest level.
boldly, serving people. Are you all writing that down? Somebody write it in the chat as well, wherever you're watching this. It's so important and so powerful. And women leaders, sometimes they need that push. And it's one of our keys we'll talk about later today as well. They need that little bit of a push to share their message more boldly. So, what
Mhm.
would you say is something that you could suggest to everybody here watching it to step into their boldness if they feel introverted, shy? Maybe you're afraid of being judged or afraid of like not knowing what to say, because how many of you can relate to that? Nod your heads if you're just like, whoa, sometimes I hold myself back. And I know a lot of women entrepreneurs do. So how would you help them to step into their boldness?
Um, there are a couple of things. So one is first, just connecting to your heart and soul and seeing what is there. What is your truth that you want to share with the world, right? There's something within you that's coming through you, and that's very needed in the world right now. A lot of women undervalue their message. They think it's not good enough, it's not, I don't know, catchy enough, not powerful enough. And that really reflects the conditioning that they have about themselves. You know, when you own your truth, when you own your message, when you own the value of it, you start sharing it without, you know, being apologizing, without fearing criticism and judgment. When you know that you are valuable and your message is valuable and you're here to do amazing big things, nothing can stop you.
That's so important to pay attention to. Like, own that message and know that you're here, all of you. You're here to do amazing things. Are you hearing, Tatiana? I think oftentimes women entrepreneurs can get caught in their heads. And I know it's happened to me where we get caught in our heads and we're like, is it enough? Am I enough? Am I doing enough? Is it going to be seen? Is it going to be heard? Are people going to like it? How many of you have had that? Have you ever had that, Tatiana, that feeling of like, ooh, I don't know, and then overcome it?
Overcome. Yeah, I remember, to me, the major block was, you know, what will my friends tell about me? Like, they're not into spirituality, they're not into soul, you know, God. I had to actually do some healing work on that just to release them.
Yeah.
And that also helped.
Sometimes we can't hold on to what we were or who we were as we're on the path of as evolutionary entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So true, so deep. So your title today is monetizing soul gifts for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. Do you have some things that you'd like to teach us about that?
Yes, I would love to share 3 major steps to monetize your soul gifts. Before I go into the steps, I really want to make sure that we're on the same page when I say soul or soul gifts. What does that really mean, right? So when I say soul, um, uh, a lot of you might think that it's just a mythical, separate thing, being that is flowing somewhere in the cosmos, separate from you, and you're just trying to get glimpses of that higher self, higher vibration. But when I say soul, I'm speaking about you. You are that now. Soul is that purposeful and powerful essence of you that you have within you right this moment. And your soul is not just limited to your physical body or physical being, physical space. It's enormously vast in its energetic structure, but it's within you right now. And your soul has a unique expression, and it expresses itself through you, through your authentic expression, right? So each of us have a unique vibrational signature, magnetic expression, our unique signature. And that's a blend of your passion and your natural genius and your unique life experience that actually contributes to who you are, right? To your message, to how you express yourself, to your human personality. So your soul expresses itself through your unique, authentic human personality. So value that, own that. It's amazing. It's so valuable, and it's very needed in the world. So to monetize your soul gifts, number one, and as I mentioned, is your message, right? Your message is as valuable and as powerful as you. Don't undervalue it. Your message has a experience of your lifetime. Your message and your voice are two powerful vehicles how you can touch hearts and souls of other people. That's how you create your community. That's how you attract your tribe, your clients, your people, by you expressing your truth, your message, and touching hearts and souls of other people. So that's number one. You got to have your message and express it with your voice. Number two is the intention and the mindset of service. So when you serve other souls and you do it from the place of contribution and heart-centered service, you have the recipe for wealth. And that's not only material wealth and financial wealth, which is great to have, right? It's also wealth of knowledge and wealth of guidance and wealth of support, because you're being guided and supported on your purpose-driven journey.
Yeah.
And number three is a powerful money mindset. Because for many generations, spirituality has been perceived as non-material. So you can't really charge for your, spiritual gifts. It's wrong. Money represents value, and it also represents value within you. So when you share your message is so valuable, right? Your truth is valuable. Your unique expression is valuable. Your wisdom is valuable. The transformation that you bring to the world, it's so valuable and needed. So just, perceiving money as a value exchange and rewiring your money mindset, your mindset to a powerful money mindset, so you can attract abundance, prosperity with ease by expressing your message and serving your people. So those three things to
Those
monetize.
are the three. Somebody write them down all in the chat. Message, what was it?
Purpose
Service, money.
and money mindset.
Money mindset. Those are so powerful. Are you all learning from this? Put something in the chat. Put those three in the chat. Put what is resonating for you in the chat. Tatiana, you're incredible. Like, you're such a powerful, wonderful, heart-centered teacher. I love that we're aligned. I'm so grateful that our paths have crossed. It's really powerful to have you on. I know you've brought a lot to this live stream so far. Everybody go ahead and put in the comments down below what did she say that really resonated with you, that stood out as you're writing it in your notes. Put some highlighter, put some colors around it, because it will actually make it stick more in your subconscious mind, and it'll come out as transformation in your businesses. So this is really cool. And then Tatiana, you have a little gift that our team might drop in the chat, or you might be dropping in the chat if you have it.
I can, yeah. It's I'm giving you a free masterclass where I talk about two major blocks that are blocking new people, new clients to enter your energetic space and to enter your energetic container. So we're transforming those blocks, we're expanding you. And then that masterclass also includes the activation meditation to activate your frequency, to activate your energy, to receive more people, to receive more clients into your space. So
Beautiful. And that's so important. I love that. So that free gift is there. Here, if you're watching the live stream, it might be in one of those spots, but Tatiana, you can go into all the places that it's being live streamed and pop your free gift in there after as well. So you can go find it on our socials and our YouTube and pop your free gift in all of those, because I know people who are on the live stream are saying, what? How come I can't see it? It's because it's being dropped into the Zoom, because we're all behind the scenes here actually producing this thing. And those of you watching in the live stream might not be back here with us. So make sure that you do go check it and find Tatiana. She's incredible. Tatiana, thank you. You've been such a gift to this community. Any final words of wisdom that you'd love to leave everybody off with?
yes, own you, own your authentic self, own your authentic expression. You are powerful in your authentic expression. Own that, value that. I love it, guys.
Own you, everybody. Tatiana is so incredible. Can you all put a waterfall of love for Tatiana in the chat right now? What do you see in her that you would like to embody in your own work? What stood out to you about what she just said? And then everybody, sparkle fingers to the screen if you're here with me in Zoom, and give Tatiana giant sparkle fingers. Mwah. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you so much. It was such a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, everyone.
So beautiful. Our speakers are incredible. Did you all gain a lot out of that? Put yes in the comments down below. You saw her authenticity, or ease, or confidence. You love how she's reminding you to own your authentic self. Write down right now, what is it that you loved? Again, write it down in the chat of what is it you loved about what she just said. The reason we're doing that is because this is a full day. And if you don't write things down, and if you don't give yourself a little shoulder roll or a little body wiggle or like a big deep breath, it'll get stuck. And so we want to embody all this stuff. So everybody just do a little movement, do a little writing in the chat, do something right now in between our speakers. Yeah, so good. This was amazing. All right. You're learning so much from the speakers, and then I'm pulling you back over here to learn some more over on my magic desk cam as well, because I have another key for you to own your magnetic presence and to really stand out as a magnetic leader. Are you ready for another key? Put ready in the comments down below. Put ready in the comments, and we'll see if we can get my magic desk camera back up here again. This is one thing I just totally love to do, because I'm a tech geek. I love my magic desk cam. Okay, number 2. There are a lot of people doing a lot of things. Oops. There are a lot of people doing a lot of things. I have to just get this ready. There it is. I'll say it for the third time. A lot of people doing a lot of things online. Have you noticed? And that it sometimes feels hard to stand out. Nod your heads if that's ever been true for you. Like somebody's already doing it. Somebody's already doing it better. Somebody's already doing exactly what I've said, what I do. Put D in the comments down below. If you feel like, oh, it's been done before, somebody's doing it already. Like, how do you stand out? Put D in the comments down below. If you're like, everybody's already doing it, how do I stand out? As a magnetic leader, this is the one key that has resurrected truly my business over the last few years and made it stand out and made it be in a place of flourishing, got me through the past few years. And I'm really seeing, because I developed this, it's not what I was really taught to do, but I developed this and it's working so beautifully. And that is to not just niche. That doesn't matter as much. It matters, but it doesn't matter as much. But instead, solve a micro problem. It's not just about, oh, my niche is, or my micro niche is like this group of people at this age and all that. That's great. But if you can solve a micro problem instead, if you can stand out with a way that you solve something in a specific solution, and by micro problem, I don't mean pain, it's too big. Back pain is still too big. Lower back pain is still too big. So we're micro solving problems. Lower back pain is still too big, but maybe it's lower back pain caused by pregnancy. That's getting small enough. Or lower back pain caused by an injury, a car accident, because then it's getting micro. So if you're solving a micro problem, you will stand out and be the go-to expert in that, not just in your field, but that thing. And it will draw people to you. And from there, they can experience the rest of your work. So number 2, to be magnetic, is to solve a micro problem. What is a micro problem that you could solve? Because niching is old news. But when you can provide a specific and tangible solution to people, they will find you. So what is a micro problem that your business solves? It's not just, oh, I help people lose weight or I help people work with the angels. What's a problem that your people have that you help them solve? A micro problem. If you do this, this current year that you're in right now can really turn around. And you can be having those $5,000 months, $10,000 months consistently if you're serving people by solving a micro problem. So let's have you all put in the chat right now, what is the micro problem that you solve? And you can do this with micro courses as well. We do this with our Show Host Academy and our Spotlight Speaker Academy, where we teach people how to have their own soul talk, which is our powerful, potent blueprint for a short talk. It's very cool. So these little micro offerings are really great. So micro problem, micro offering. So put yours in the comments down below while I get a sip of water and we get ready for our next speaker. All right. I'm excited. So we can bring our beautiful magic desk camera down. How many of you want to make a desk cam? Put desk cam in the comments down below. It's my phone. Okay, so micro problems, we'll be seeing some come in the chat, and you might be thinking, like, what's a specific issue that people have that you work with? Be willing to do the work today. I like this, bouncing back from a toxic relationship, and you can get even more focused with that, Danielle. Bouncing back from what kind of a toxic relationship? A toxic parent relationship, a toxic love relationship, a toxic marriage relationship? What is it? Rachel, support for women with angels tuned into their inner guidance, get their messages more clearly. That's good. That's starting to get more clear if it's like getting the messages. And what are the messages about? Getting the messages about their relationship, their career, their health. Yes. So what is the specific micro problem? These are really good. I love seeing what you're writing in the chat. It's amazing. And we are going to go to our next powerful and incredible guest. Lisa Berry is going to come up here. She is an incredible, powerful leader. Lisa, I'm so happy and excited to have you here. So thank you so much for jumping up.
Absolutely, Elizabeth. So good to see you today and to see everybody here. Thank you for being here. It's excellent.
And Lisa's one of my experts on the back end as well. You'll notice her here throughout the day. But she's a leadership development expert, CEO, and co-founder of Burlogics. This woman is mega talented, like ultra talented. She excels in communication, turning challenges into opportunities. She guides individuals to embrace their uniqueness. That's what we're talking about today. to foster their strength, confidence, and resilience for their optimal selves. So she's going to be teaching us a little bit today about empowering women through transformative leadership training. How many of you are ready to be empowered? Put E in the comments down below. E for empowered, to be empowered in your offerings, empowered in what you do. Yes? Can we all give a big sparkly fingers to Lisa Berry? Yes. All right, Lisa, again, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
Let's start with a little bit more about you. It's one thing for me to like tell people your credentials, but tell us your business story in a nutshell. Like, who are you and how did you get here?
Absolutely. So I am someone that happens to be a super tech nerd. And working in the technology industry for 25 plus years, what was happening for me, or really what wasn't happening for me, is in some cases I found myself not getting the promotions, but I was the person fixing the problem, not being selected or hired, but I was the one that was the best for the job. And that's not to brag on my skills. It's I'm the go-to person that they were coming to for these different things. And what happened was a turning point for me back in 2008 was, ooh, I'm the one that needs to change. It's not them. I need to figure out what it is I need to change within me so that I can get those jobs, so I can get those promotions. And I took a big chance and I enrolled in a program that helped me develop my communication and leadership skills. And it was from there where I started to meet others like me and see that I wasn't the only person like this. But being in the tech industry, I found that leaders in the tech industry, because I'm a woman, were very, very few compared to how many men were in the industry. And believe me, ladies, I am not bashing men. And men, if you're listening, I am not about this is a man versus woman issue. That's not what this is about. This is about a place for everyone. And that those of us that want to grow and stretch and become the real transformative leaders that we want to be, we can do it. We just have to go about it just a little bit differently. And so that's what I've done. And so I've been the test subject, if you will, for the program. And I've mentored and coached others, and I've seen them grow as leaders as well. And the biggest thing for me is some of you may say, but I'm not a leader. I'm not a leader for someone. And my mom, actually, before when I told her I was going to be speaking here, said it best. She said, I'm going to be attending because while I don't lead anyone, I lead myself. And that is the best attitude right there. Every one of us is a leader for someone, and especially a leader for ourselves. So why wouldn't we want to become better at what we do? And it all starts with confidence, Elizabeth. That's the key. That is where it starts.
It does. And so many women feel like they lack that confidence. And me too, like for years, I was like, I just need to be more confident. If I was only more confident, like those other women I see who are more confident, I was like that. And I realized that confidence comes through just taking courageous action. So I love that you like a lot of your work really centers around boosting up that confidence because we'll hold ourselves back and we'll play small. How many of you have ever played small? Put S in the comments down below. Confidence really matters. So Lisa, what are some challenges you've been through as you build your businesses? Because as you build your business, because we want to talk about the real stuff behind the scenes here too.
So the real thing, the challenge for building the business, and those of you that are looking to build your business, and Elizabeth, you've said, I'm quoting you because you said it the best. The best is the E word, excuses. I've been on this venture and doing this work for a number of years, but not to the level that I'm doing now, because I always found an excuse. Or this wasn't the right time. This wasn't the right match. And maybe that's all true, but the biggest excuse was me. That was the biggest excuse. And so if you're really in it to win it, as they say, dare to be you, dare to make a mistake, dare to just get out there and do.
Yes.
That's the key. And I love the fact that you and I have connected, because for me, that's been a big transition for me. And and all the good things that are coming. I'm so excited about the different programs that I have coming out, and just being able to share this with other people, because I know it's made such a difference for me. And if any of you out there are like me, believe it or not, I'm a super introverted person that doesn't do this, that, and whatever. Guess what? That's not me anymore. That was Lisa Berry way back then. The opportunities are there. You just have to have that mind shift like you were talking about. And it really is about switching from looking at things as obstacles and seeing them as opportunities. And
Yes.
all that good, wonderful things will start to happen. It really does go in that order.
Yeah. Turning the obstacles into opportunities. Many of us have heard that, but are we really doing it and really living it? So bring that forward. I'm so glad you brought that reminder, and somebody write that in the put O in the chat if you want to turn your obstacles into opportunities, if you're ready to make a shift in your life. Because we're here at this pinnacle moment where women leaders are needed more than ever, truly. Like, look at the state of the planet, look at everything that's going on, look at all that you've all risen through. Like, you are so needed. So if you're ready for that, put an O in the comments down below for opportunity. Lisa, what do you want to teach to these ladies today about leadership and about how they can really lean into that in their businesses?
Absolutely. The first thing I want to talk about and teach everybody is about confidence. And we talked a little bit about that, but that is the key. That is the paramount facet, if you will, to being the best version of you, the confident best version of you. Does that mean you might not feel confident every single day? Possibly. But does it mean that you're absolutely going to look at things from a different perspective and be brave? That's what it comes from, is being brave to accept the challenge and see where it takes you. Because one thing that I've learned, and it was a really hard thing for me to learn to some extent, because I'm a little stubborn sometimes, you have to be willing to look and reflect on your mistakes so that you can see where the opportunities were within them. And I can use all the rhetoric and speak all of the words, but you really have to absolutely reflect. And for me, this went all the way back to when I actually was walking the neighborhoods with my grandfather. And we would go out walking and through the neighborhood. I'm, just a little young girl. And I find a penny on the sidewalk, and he told me to pick it up. You pick that penny up and you put it in your pocket. And I would put it in my pocket, and I never asked any questions. I just did what he said, right? It's my grandfather. And one day we found the penny on the sidewalk, and the penny was there for me to pick up, but I hesitated. And I hesitated because I didn't have any pockets. And I looked at him and I said, "But Papa, what do I do? I don't have pockets today." And he said, "You put it in your shoe, because the day that you turn down picking up the penny is the day that you turn down the opportunity. And you only get so many opportunities in this lifetime. And it's for you to look at them, examine them, and decide which opportunity you're going to accept." Now, of course, he said it a little bit differently to a 4-year-old, but that's what I took from it. And it took for me being much, much older to really reflect on that. So that's the first thing. Reflect on your opportunities, see them, be confident to look at those opportunities. But the next thing is, we are all leaders for someone. Again, we are. Someone somewhere, I guarantee, is watching you. And I don't mean like the stalker type person. I mean somebody that's watching and emulating and looking at you. And it may be somebody at work. It may be somebody in your community. It may be somebody at your place of worship. It may be, again, children at home, right? It may be the neighbor kids that are looking at you to be that guide for them.
Yes.
Be that example. Lead by example. Be the person that you're meant to be, because that is where all the goodness comes from. You can't go wrong by doing that. We can't change the acts of others, but we always have control over what we do.
Yes.
The third thing I have for you is break out and be ready to lead above the chatter. And I mean the chatter of women don't do this and women don't do that and women, whatever. It's okay to be a strong woman leader. I'm here to tell you. It's okay to own it. And as far as I go, I'll even be daring enough to say, I'm owning the fact that I'm a weird, strong leader too. And if that's you, bring it on. Be you. There's no barrier. There's no obstacle. There's no chatter that's going to put you back in any place in society if you're being brave and being the best version of you. That
Yeah.
is the best thing you can do for yourself.
Absolutely. So being brave, rise above the chatter, and lean down, like be willing to pick up those opportunities. So many women will pass those opportunities up and they're right there in front of them. And it's just, these are such beautiful reminders. Everybody, what did you love about what Lisa said? Like which one of those things that she said is standing out to you and that you want to make sure that you do? Is it pick up those opportunities? Is it rising above the chatter? Like write it down in the chat right now. Which is yours to do? Put it in the chat right now. And Lisa, you have something of a gift somewhere that the audience can continue and follow you?
Yes. So I have, if you are ready, ladies, to be a radiant leader, I have the Radiant Leader Blueprint for you. And that is 4 strategies for you to unleash confidence and your potential. So please feel free, download it from here. I know we'll be sharing it out later, but it's available also via lisaberrytraining.com. I'd
Perfect.
love to see if we could connect and see if I'm someone that you'd like to work with.
Oh, I love it. We've put the link in the chat, Lisa. We put the link in the chat, everybody. And the chat links are only for our speakers today, if that's okay with you. They've brought themselves here. They're so incredible. They're pouring their hearts in. And so we're just keeping the chat to links and promotions for our speakers only. So thank you so much for following that, everybody. And you can grab Lisa's gift in the chat right there. And Lisa, we're streaming all over the internet. So go find our YouTube and our different Facebook places and pop that chat in and connect with the people who are watching the live stream from afar and over the next few days as well. So really excited. Lisa, what would you like to leave our audience of amazing women here with?
What I wish for all of you is nothing but the wonders of what every opportunity brings you every single day, and for the foresight and the bravery and the boldness for you to go and be the best version of you, because it's out there for you. You just have to be brave enough to accept it.
Lisa, thank you so much for being incredible. You're like way more powerful and incredible and amazing than you even let people know. Like this woman is a connector. She's organized a TEDx women's event. She's like got so much experience. And Lisa, it's my honor that I get to work with you this year in my mastermind as well. Like it's going to be such a fun year. So
Absolutely. 2024, everybody, this is the year.
This is the year, everybody. All right. Thank you so much, Lisa. Everybody give her some sparkly fingers as we bring her off the screen, and put in the comments down below, what did you gain from this session? What little moment or one little aha or something that you picked up? And as you're writing notes, we're going to be doing a prize contest in the Women's Holistic Business Network. If you paste your notes at the end of the day, like put a picture of your notes and write down some of your key takeaways, one of you is going to win a VIP coaching session with me. So if you want to win that, write really good notes today, and then you're going to put those notes into the Women's Holistic Business Network. I'll actually have one of our amazing assistants go grab the link for the Women's Holistic Business Network. That is the group that I started from zero and now has over 4,000 members in it, women from around the world. And that's a great place to continue the connections. And we're streaming into the Women's Holistic Business Network today as well. So that's a great place to go. And this is how you win the prize. This is a $500 package. Go into that network, take your pages of notes and take pictures of them and post them up in the network at the end of the day. So how many of you love winning prizes? Put win in the comments down below. Put the word win in the comments down below right now if you want to win. Maybe that has to be part of it. You got to put the word win in the comments down below. You get to win a VIP coaching session with me by pasting your notes in the Women's Holistic Business Network today. And one of our assistants will grab the link for the Women's Holistic Business Network and put it in there for you. That's how you win a prize today. So who's having a great day so far with us? Give a little sparkle and extra sparkle fingers for our amazing guests. It's been an incredible, powerful moment here. I want to give you another key before we go to our next speaker? Who's ready for another powerful key? Put me in the comments down below, because I'm going to give you number 3. Are you ready? We can bring my magic desk cam back up here. So how do you be magnetic? How do you really stand out, especially in online space when it comes to social media posts, advertising, emails, any of the marketing that you do, even the way that you start a video. And I help women to start their own online TV shows, the way that you start your talk, your soul talk, which is another thing that I help women get on stage with. It really matters how you hook people. And so this is key number 3. You're going to hook people with your titles. And this is magnetic because it comes from your beautiful heart. So write that down. It's hook people with your titles. So your emails, your programs, everything should have a great title on it. Titles and also email subject lines. A great way to look for ones that you like are to research emails that come into your inbox that you open. Also, you can use ChatGPT, but the best way to hook people with your titles is to speak from your heart, is to know what they want. So it's not always about you, but it's about your people. What is their pain? What is their problem? And what can you help them with? Put that right into your titles. So I'm going to write with titles here as well, because your titles of social posts, emails, all the things, that first line really matters. And make that first line magnetic by speaking from your heart to their hearts. Somebody write that down. Somebody write it down. All right. Yes, I like that. What do you wish you had? All those things. So go ahead and put yours in, and we're going to pull my magic desk cam down for a moment. And who of you here has had a great first segment of our session so far? You've learned a few things: leading by example, solve a micro problem, hook with hot titles. You've learned from our speakers. How many of you have lots of notes in your notebooks so far? Just give us a little sparkle in the camera, little sparkle fingers in the camera. Yes, so good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my recording and restart another recording, because those of you who are getting the replays are going to have a couple of segments. And I want to start this next segment off with our next guest. So I'm going to do that. And those of you who are here with me behind the scenes watching, even if you're out there in YouTube and on our different social media streaming sites where we're going live today, because I have some special guests behind the scenes with me in Zoom and everybody else is watching in the streaming. It's a long day on your computer, so I recommend right now that you maybe stand up in your chairs, or at least reach your arms up overhead and take a deep breath. Let me see you all stretch and breathe. Maybe look up away from your computer, and then let your arms come down and take a deep breath out and go, ah, and maybe roll your shoulders around and do a little wiggle. And we're going to just keep refreshing our bodies in between guests, because this is going to be a powerful day. And we have another speaker who's going to be coming up here in a moment. Is our next speaker ready? Because I'm going to restart our recording. Here we go. So Magnetic Influence live stream. I'm so excited to bring our next speaker up. I can't wait, because this woman is not only a powerful magnetic leader, but she's also a dear sister. I grew up with brothers, so I grew up around a lot of boys and a lot of guy energy. And this woman has been like the soul sister that I never had. So I'm really excited to bring her up, and I will just do so. There we go. Yes.
Oh my God, I almost started crying when you said that. Just,
It's true.
thank you. Mm.
Yeah, it's true. Everybody, this is Sophia Tom. If you don't know Sophia yet, you're about to be inspired and magnetized by this incredible woman leader who I absolutely adore. She's the founder of Temple Body Arts Mystery School for Divine Feminine Leadership. So isn't this a beautiful conversation to have her in? And she's also the founder of co-founder of the Danyasa Eco Retreat in Costa Rica. And she lives in Costa Rica. She's joining us from Costa Rica. And she's going to be teaching you divine feminine mentorship for women leaders. So this conversation is just going to keep evolving, because she is a divine feminine mentor and leader for leaders birthing a new paradigm. We were talking about this, Sophia, about an hour ago when we started this new paradigm way that we're in right now. We don't have to do things the old way. So I'm so excited to have you. She's an author, modern day temple dancer, an entrepreneur committed to guiding women to embody their feminine power and birth their gifts into the world. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. I've been tuning in to some of the speakers and to you here and just feeling so inspired. You always bring together such incredible women, and yeah, just the themes that are coming through are so powerful. And I think for all of us, yeah, it's important to always come back to even like these levels of confidence or trust, because we're constantly evolving. It's like wherever we are on the path, if it's 30 years, 25 years, 5 years, it's like we're always being brought into the next level of our own embodiment. And when you were speaking into like, yes, this divine feminine mentorship as a leader, it's really about like that our bodies are the mentor. It's about finding that inner mentor and guide and trusting the wisdom of our own bodies to really guide us as well on this path.
It's so important right now that we trust that wisdom, because there are so many voices as entrepreneurs telling us what to do and what we should do. And sometimes it doesn't feel right and it doesn't feel aligned. And then we start questioning our own selves. And it's just like, whew, this trust piece has been massive in my journey. I know it has been in yours. I know it has been in so many women here. So I'm so glad that you opened with that. Before I give the floor to you, tell everybody a little bit more about your business, your entrepreneurial journey, and how you came to be.
Yeah, well, let's see. I moved here to Costa Rica, 16 years ago. And before that, I had really been, what had I been? I mean, a starving artist, a healing artist. I had studied, expressive healing arts and dance therapy and yoga. I grew up with parents that were healers and authors in the, really pioneering, a lot of this movement. Brought up in a spiritual community that I'm fourth generation in. And so I was always following really like what I loved. Like, I really am so grateful that my parents always supported me in going to school for dance therapy or expressive healing arts. And, I remember on that journey really discovering that expressive healing arts and this world was very much like my spiritual inner landscape and my connection to God, to spirit, and the way that I can guide and support others in getting to know themselves through expressive healing arts and to heal. And so it was really this beautiful merging of the inner and the outer landscape. And yet it has been a wild ride to figure out how to really package that in a way, or like, how do I offer this in a way that is sustainable, that brings in money, that is also really supporting others and giving them the value that they need. And so it's really evolved. I mean, over the years, I've birthed, I have a retreat center here in Costa Rica called Danyasa Eco Retreat with my husband that we founded 16 years ago. I also founded a festival here, Envision Festival, and I started a yoga teacher training school, and I birthed a Temple Body Arts mystery school 7 years ago. And I think that was like the biggest moment of like the confidence and courage that you ladies have been speaking about. Like, that took everything to really trust that, knowing inside of myself that I was here to birth something new into the world. How many of you feel that you are really here to birth something new into the world? And like, it takes a lot of courage, right? To like really trust that when it hasn't quite been done before. And so, that was a massive step that really came from a huge initiation of actually miscarrying and and then choosing through that experience of almost losing my life. I mean, it's a big story that happened actually just exactly 7 years ago last week. So I'm kind of still in that moment of like really deeply reflecting on yeah, how our wombs as women, you know, really do guide us through a journey through this cyclical nature as well of like when we're listening, like what wants to birth. And so that's been a deep journey for me, like through that journey of getting pregnant, of losing that child, and then actually choosing to say yes to my mission as a spiritual midwife. Like really, I know that I'm here to support other women in birthing themselves and birthing their work. And so similar to this like purpose, you know, bringing like the purpose work, the embodiment work, the expressive healing arts, like how to weave all of these passions and experience into one kind of mystery school and path. And so it really has been such a journey of trust and courage. And I mean, I'm actually just coming out of a sabbatical after 7 years
And
of
you
like
honor us by being here.
Yes. One of my first times coming out here. Yeah. And so it's just like when we speak about magnetism, we have to be full of ourselves, like in the highest light. We have to be connected to our essence. You know, that's been spoken of here too, like to be connected to what turns us on, what feels good. Like, and if we're not, you know, I think many times we can get burnt out. Like, how many of you have been there? Like, I know Elizabeth and I have, and probably most of us, right? So that's kind of like our design, that we overgive and we overdo. And yet, you know, and this is something I can go deeper into, but like we are actually designed as cyclical beings to stop, to slow down, to let things die that are no longer serving.
When we need that right now, it's so important and powerful. And I'm so excited that on the next full moon, you've got something coming up and people can see that. We'll talk about it later, but I want to give you the floor for a few minutes so that you can just lead these women. Would that be okay with you all if I gave Sophia the floor? Put yes in the comments down below. I'm going to give you the floor. I'll pop myself off a spotlight in a moment and give you about 3-4 minutes or so to just lead and guide like whatever comes through you, because this process is so important and this conversation is so important. So I'll be back with you in about 3 minutes. Sound good?
Okay. Thank you, sister.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in being a magnetic leader, it is so important that we are listening, that we are present. And I think so much we can get pulled, you know, like Elizabeth was saying, and you know, looking outside of ourselves and comparing ourselves and taking our power away. That's actually giving our power away when we're looking outside of ourselves for something, or comparing, or, you know, really looking for the answers outside. And what I have always come back to and, you know, teach all the women that I work with is like, all of the answers that you're looking for are actually living inside of you already. Yeah, I see some nods. Who believes me here? Who was like, yes, I've experienced that, right? We're all here as spiritual entrepreneurs, and we have this understanding that there's so much that's like unseen. There's so much that is living within, and that I really believe and know that we are holding all of these incredible codes, like our own unique codes, that we are here to bring through in our work and in our presence. And so when we speak about magnetism, you know, and that like, that it actually can be easy. And as I'm coming out of sabbatical, it's been, I will not lie, it has been intense to go from, I mean, I've been still tending to my retreat center here, you know, I'm definitely not like just chilling, but sabbatical from Temple Body Arts, and from being present here online consistently and having these offerings, like to really show up in a way that we are like here, present, magnetizing our people to us, like it does take actually quite a lot of energy, right? It takes a life force energy. And so in order to do that, we have to make sure that we are actually plugged in, that we have this beautiful wellspring of Shakti, of divine creative life force and power and energy that is naturally within us as women. And we can connect into this energy that is ours to have and to hold and to experience through presence, through meditation, through movement, through breath, through really coming home to the body and connecting in and moving the body and tuning this instrument that is our bodies. So there's that one piece that's super important, is like carving out the time to like be in your body and to fuel it with amazing foods and, you know, foods that are alive and beautiful, you know, nurturing yourself with green drinks and coconut water if you can. And just like, how do you tend to your body so that you can feel good? And then movement. And so you're tapping into this wellspring. And, you know, there's a lot of different embodiment practices you can do to really connect into this energy that is a sexual creative energy. It is Shakti. So through the tantric lens and through the yogic lens, this is Shakti that is this magnetic feminine life force energy that brings everything to life. So we need to be in touch with this energy within ourselves in order to be full and present and magnetic. And so every breath is an opportunity to come back to that. And then with our wombs and our cycles, and, you know, wherever you are in your life cycle, maybe you do not bleed anymore and you're in a beautiful sacred pause time. I'm in that space of in between, liminal space, where I'm slowly reaching that time of not bleeding anymore, but I'm still in that. And even if you're not bleeding, you can still tune into the cycles through the moon and through seasons, because, you know, we get to mimic that. So for instance, when it's the new moon, it's the dark moon, it's that energy of going within, it's the winter, it's that time that we can be bleeding. So it's like that time of going within to really listen and to feel into like, what is actually aligned that I'm giving my life force energy to in my life right now, and what is not. And many times when you take the time to actually like close down the petals, go within, reflect, you'll actually get that information of like, oh my God, I just, it doesn't feel good for me to be in relationship with this person anymore, to keep giving my energy to this organization or whatever it is, right? We have this intuitive knowing. And so giving ourselves the time to really listen and to go in. And, you know, if you are bleeding, it's this beautiful time to release, and we can give back to the earth. So there's beautiful rituals that you can do to really cleanse and clear and realign your body and your energy and where you're giving your attention with what you are truly saying yes to and what feels like your magnetic energy. Beautiful. Yeah. And so then we just flow with the beautiful cycle. So this is part of these lunar feminine archetypes that we naturally move through with the moon. So there's, you know, this time of the sacred dreamer of the new moon. Then there's a time of the graceful warrior, of coming out and pulling out your sword and actually saying no and creating boundaries, right? We have to be able to say no in order to really give our precious energy to what we do want to create as leaders.
I love that you cycle this around the moon, and I know that you've got something coming up on the next full moon. Some of you watching this, it may have already happened, but you're going to get something from Sophia so you can get connected, and I'm going to be there because it's going to be so powerful. I'm really excited
Yes, you
about it.
are.
Who's loving
Yeah.
this conversation, like tuning inwards? It's not just external strategies about like, do this on social media or do this, create a thing. It's this deep, deep inner alignment that you bring, Sophia.
Mm.
like women leaders really need this. How many of you are feeling it? Put yes in the comments down below if you're feeling that, just that tuning in just by Sophia's presence. Yes. So let's tell people about what you've got for them today.
Yeah, well, when we think about what comes after the pulling out your sword, it is the full moon, it's the summer, it's the ovulation, it's that time of like actually like offering. Like Elizabeth is in her full mother lover energy, which is that energy of like offering, right? You've got to be full in order to give and to be aligned with your authentic essence. And so, yeah, this beautiful offering I have coming up is on the full moon, which is February 24th. It's on a Saturday. And it is called Temple Body Activation. And it's a 4-hour online retreat to go through these powerful ritual dance journeys and embodiment practices, and really receiving some of these temple body arts frameworks to support you in looking at, okay, where am I out of alignment? And what needs to come into alignment so that I can truly create and offer from a place of like fullness and connection to my signature soul essence.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I'm
Let's
super
tell them
excited.
it's templebodyarts.com/activation.
Oh yeah, I can share. And
And
then
it's
I
in
do
the
have
chat
this
right now.
other,
Those of
I
you
have
who are
this other
watching on
fragment too.
screen,
I know.
templebodyarts.com/activation. For some reason, you can't make that day. We've snuck in a second link from Sophia. It's the Visionary Leader gift. So it's also here in the chat. And you can go into our streamed areas after this and make sure your team puts it in for you, because it's going to be such a beautiful day. I'm going to be there. And the sweetest part is like normally Sophia's events cost quite a bit to attend. This one's free, right?
Yeah, I'm doing
When
it
I
to
saw that, I was like,
free.
what are you doing
I
with
know. Well, I'm just coming out of sabbatical and I'm like, I just want to connect. It's like a full-on global ceremony to be together. And we're going to be really, not only working on our personal desires and connection and like up level as feminine leaders, but it's also like the collective prayer of like, what are we here to really embody and send out, like for all those that are suffering in the world too. So I always want to, there's the personal benefit, but then also like the full global benefit of how we can share ourselves and our work and embodiment for the betterment of all beings.
So
So
beautiful.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for putting that on, for giving us your heart and your alignment and all of it. What are you all picking up from Sophia? Put it in the chat right now. What do you see in her that you'd love to embody in yourself? What nuggets of wisdom really stuck out to you as like, oh, that's missing for me. I need to do that. Oh, I know that one and I need to bring it in even further. So put that in the chat for Sophia. Give her some love. And Sophia, what are your final words that you want to leave everybody here off?
Yeah, that the one other archetype I will speak into is the wild woman. And just how important it is for us to really allow ourselves to come into and to look at those shadow aspects, those mad aspects, those aspects of us that can kind of take over, because we need to be expressing those and embodying them in order to like come into that full integration of coming into wholeness. And so it's like not compartmentalizing, I can't even say it, but like not separating aspects of ourselves, but bringing all parts of ourselves, accepting all parts of yourself, knowing that that is leadership, to really own every part of yourself and to know that everything you've moved through has brought you to this place. So there's no place of any shame, or guilt. It's like, here you are, and like really embracing all of you and knowing that everything you've moved through has actually made you a stronger person to be able to support others.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's pop that link one more time, everybody, because the activation event is going to be so powerful. And then you can check Sophia's other link as well if you just want to grab her free gift. For some reason, you can't make activation, but you should move mountains and oceans to be there. Sophia, I love you so much. I adore you so deeply. Thank you for blessing this community with your wisdom.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, isn't Elizabeth amazing? She is such an inspiring speaker herself, and leader. And I'm just so honored to get to continue to weave and share in our communities and expand together.
Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. All right, everybody. Whew, deep breath. Take a really deep breath in and then open your mouth and make a little sound. Go, ah, let it out. Ah, so good. Let's bring me back up to the screen. There we go. That's my spotlight. Okay, I'm so excited because this day is so like I get to hang out with some of the most beautiful women, some dear sisters like Sophia, who I've known and loved for years, and we've spent lots of time together. And then some new women, like some new to me, not new women in the scene, but women who are new to me, who I've been like loving from a distance and wanting to connect with more. So Rosalind is really cool. Sophia, you should stick around and check Rosalind out. She's coming up next. Before that happens, everybody, how many of you are loving this day? Put love in the comments down below if you're loving this, because I have another little tool for you, another powerful magnetic tool for you to engage your audiences online, to magnetize people with your powerful message. Are you ready for it? Put a number 4 in the comments down below if you're ready for number 4, and we'll see if my magical desk cam can get brought back up, because number 4 is powerful. How many of you have noticed that I have been getting you to post in the chat today? Put me in the comments down below if you've noticed I've been getting you to post in the chat. And how many of you really want to lead your business with magnetic heart soul alignment in a totally new way? Put yes in the comments down below. What I just did is known as engaging questions. It's to get you involved, because it's one thing for you to just talk, or for two amazing leaders to just talk to each other. But when we can engage our audiences, it really brings them in. So number 4 is engage with questions. And doing that in your emails, in your social, when you do videos, your show, when you speak, when you lead, remember your audience and pull them in with questions. Pull your audience in with questions. So secret number 4 to really shining magnetically online is to engage your audience with questions. Questions about them, about their heart and their souls. So let's pull our magic desk cam down. What is a question that you would ask to your audience to pull them in, to get them thinking? If you help people with finding their soul purpose, you might ask a question like, are you living your true purpose? If you help them with weight loss, you might ask, do you feel as good in your body as you know you want to feel? So what would you ask to your audience? What's an engaging question that you would ask to your audience? Get curious about your people. And questions really show that you care about people. And that's one of our other keys to being magnetic. Ooh, I love this. Gloria says, what lights you up? That's a great one. Who likes that one? Gloria, I love that. Put your questions in. What would you want to say to your audiences? Put it in the comments down below right now, because we are getting ready to bring up another magnetic queen to the stage in a moment here. And I want to hear your beautiful questions. So I'll take a sip of water while you do that. While you put your question, I've got water, I've got tea, I've got smoothies, I've got 2 amazing assistants. Ooh, what does wellness look and feel like to you? I like that. So you can do questions that are like, well, like what is your dream? What is your vision? You can also do questions about what do you want to get away from? Because oftentimes people will move away from what they don't want more actively than they move towards what they do want. How many of you know that's true with your clients? Sometimes you can say things like, do you want to release the past or get out of pain or things like that? And it's moving away from what they don't want. So asking engaging questions is another way to be magnetic and stand out online. Tanya's, what is your biggest challenge with your diagnosis? It's a great question. Yeah. All right, beauties. I'm so excited to bring our next magnificent guest up, Rosalind.
Hello.
I'm so excited. Rosalind and I have been having a secret love pen pal voice memo relationship for over a year now, at least. But we haven't yet been on stage together. So Rosalind, I'm so excited to have you here. Can you all give us sparkly fingers to Rosalind Fung, our next incredible guest? Sparkle fingers. Let me tell you about her And then Rosalind, I'm so excited to hear about you. So Rosalind Fung is a transformational leadership business coach and Akashic Records spiritual guide. She's all the things. She's going to be speaking to you today on how to be bold, unapologetic, show up, and be magnetically influential. So I'm really excited about this. Let me tell you a little bit more. She's a magnetic force in transformational leadership, business coaching, Akashic Records, spiritual guide, former psychologist. So she's like got some chops in here. She specializes in leadership, client attraction, and soulful selling for entrepreneurs, leaders, organizations, and their teams. So Rosalind, welcome. It's so good to have you.
Thank you so much for having me, Elizabeth. This is so fun and such a small world because Sophia and I also have been chatting in the DMs. We were in another summit together, and when I saw her here, I'm like, yes, this is awesome. I love that you two know.
And we didn't plan that the two of you were speaking back to back, but I'm like, you two,
I love it.
We need to hang out, all of us. Okay. So Rosalind, go ahead and tell everybody a little bit more about your business and your heart's journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So my whole brand, my whole vibe, my passion is all about helping you unleash your bold and unapologetic self. It's bringing your boldest dreams or boldest self to your biggest desires. And for me, my journey came from this place where back in 2008, I got into bodybuilding for all the wrong reasons, thinking if I had this perfect body, then I'll be finally happy. I was only 25 at the time, and I had checked off all the societal success markers in society. I had just started private practice as a psychologist. I was happily, or I should say, I was a newlywed, and I'm still very happily married to the same man, 17 years later, almost 18. And I was a second-degree black belt in karate and a role model to kids, teens, and adults. And yet, deep inside, I felt like I was missing something. And so I thought, hey, maybe it's like this, if I had the physique, my dream physique, then I'll finally have that missing puzzle piece. And I was secretly struggling with disordered eating. Binge eating was my flavor. And then I would purge by over-exercising. And so fast forward on this day in competition, I came in last place. And that devastated me. Now, that also, as we all know, that's our breakdown to our breakthrough. And I was led to learn about this method called Haikomi. And it means, how do I stand in relationship with myself? And how do I stand in relationship with others? And it's this approach that combines neuroscience, psychology, and at this time I was like, this thing called spirituality. What is that? So anyways, of course, when you're learning something, you cannot not work on your own shit, right? So for me, I learned I was unconsciously operating from this belief that I am valued in my doingness, so my titles, my status, how much money I'm making, rather than my beingness. And my doingness was never enough. And a lot of this came from not just society, but my culture. I'm Chinese. And it was just like, no wonder I'm an overachiever. I'm a perfectionist. And I had this mentality of no pain, no gain. So that was when I started to come home to myself. And I don't believe that journey ever ends. And I started to learn the art of slowing down, be perfectly imperfect, and turn this pain into my purpose. So today I love helping others be fully expressed and create and do life and business from who they really authentically are. So in our expression, in how it works for us to show up, and then have what we desire.
I love your journey. I love knowing a little bit more about you. Haikomi is very close to my heart. So is martial arts. So
I did not know those things. That's amazing. We have more to talk about.
And most importantly, like helping women, like getting to their authentic expression, how many of you have, just like Rosalind, just like many of the women here, done all the things the right way and then landed in this place where you're like, I have to do it my way. Put me in the comments down below if you can relate to the journey that you just heard Rosalind share. Put me in the comments down below if it's you, because this is what's emerging. This is what's emerging right now. And this is why I chose to do this particular live stream right now, like Year of the Dragon. It's here. It's
Love
like,
it.
let's emerge in a totally different way. So I love what you're
Yeah.
sharing and what you've done. And the journey isn't
Thank
always
you.
easy. Yeah.
It's
really cool.
not. It's not. And the part of that journey, and many of you might be able to relate with this, was this part was I became the first psychologist. I live in Alberta, Canada, in my province to put like create and sell an online program, which if any of you are in the profession, you know how much red tape that is. And so I'm a trailblazer, I'm a badass. I'm like, no, we're figuring this out. So at the time, after I healed, I got certified in eating psychology. So at the time, I was running lots of body image programs, and I took that leap of faith because at that point, Spirit opened up more doors as I put that program out there. And I got my first international speaking gig, a magazine cover. So you know that feeling when you're like, okay, something's happening, something bigger is happening. I don't really know what, but I'm following the nudges. That I just trusted. I started to trust that. And then I fast forward, that was into 2015. I had to like fight through a lot of inner critic stuff, but I started a coaching business about 7 years ago, not meaning to resign from my successful private practice, thinking I could do both. Oh my God, no. So, because what I discovered was I could be more fully expressed as who I truly am. And at this point in time, I was also an energy healer. And I was like, I can do so much more. I can work with anybody, anywhere. Like, this is amazing. And so I had to work through a lot of inner critic stuff. And maybe some of you can put in chat box can relate with this. But like, what if I fail? For me, I have 2 young boys. You might hear them. They just got home from school. And they, I'm like 50% of the provider in their family. What if I'm not making it? I really had to let go of my ego as well with my identity as a psychologist for all these years. It was over 10 years. And really
So you know the inner workings of when the inner critic meets the imposter. It's like a
oh my
battlefield
God, it's
when a
everything.
woman's trying to lead. Oh my
Yeah, the
God.
imposter is huge. And I know still comes up, right? Like, it's not like we're immune to it. It's just every time I level up, the imposter syndrome comes up. I'm like, here it is. And I just can't see it. That's why we need mentors and coaches and
true.
peers to support us. But yeah, I eventually, and then the other one big thing is just risking disapproval from my parents, my Asian parents. What are they going to think? They spent so much money. I spent so much money on this schooling, so many years, building on my private practice very successfully. And I'm going to just leave all this? They literally thought I was brainwashed.
Yeah.
It was like
They'd have been like, what's happening to you?
Yeah, they literally stopped talking to me. They thought my business coach was brainwashing me.
Oh my.
And I was like, okay, no, I'm just going to have to bet on myself, go all in, and just make it happen. And eventually I knew, because I'm close to my parents, I knew they would come around at some point, and they did, and they're some of my greatest supporters now, even though they probably don't really know what I do.
I'm so glad to hear that. I want to know, before we wrap you up, like, what is something that you would tell these women about how they can practically today step past the fear, like become more bold, deal with the inner voices? What do you want them to know?
First of all, trust that, if the dream is in you, it's for you. So there's a reason, there's something stirring in there. And then keep moving towards your boldest dreams. And a huge part of that, it does help to have a coach, a mentor, a peers. I wouldn't be as successful as I am today without these people. I'm so grateful. But a huge piece of it as well is being able to show up confidently. And how you do that, really, confidence comes from taking courageous action. You can't fake it. It comes from just doing the thing anyway and keeping that momentum, stretching yourself outside of your comfort zone, so that eventually, as you do this more consistently, what happens is this becomes your new normal. And then you look back and you can all right now, think about where you are right now. And probably a year ago, 2 years ago, you had been dreaming about where you are right now. And it's like, wow, I did it, right? It's your new normal. And then we keep visioning into what's that next level version of ourselves, because there's always another level.
Write
So,
that down, everybody. Confidence comes from courageous actions. Somebody write that
yes,
in the chat for us because we all need that as women entrepreneurs. I'm so glad
yeah,
that you brought that in and looking back and seeing all these pieces that we've done, it's so powerful. I need more time with you. Let's do like a full hour
yes,
interview.
please.
Um, let's jump to what have you got for these ladies today?
Yes, beautiful. So I have a client attraction checklist. This gives you 11 key brand and marketing strategies. Today I talked a little bit more about mindset and my story. This goes a little bit more into these strategies. So it's the mindset, strategies, and energetics that I really love to embrace as my pillars in working with my clients.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. It's in the chat there, everybody. And then we're also streaming to a whole bunch of different places. So you can go find it, Rosalind, and like pop those into the chat and all the
Awesome.
places that we're streaming as well, so that you can all grab this checklist from Rosalind. Do you love her energy and this is what she stands for? Does she make you feel more bold just by looking at her and being in her energy? Boldness, action, everybody. It's in you.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful reminder. So what do you see in Rosalind? Put it in the comments. What did she say that really stood out for you? And Rosalind, what do you want to leave everybody off here with as a final word of wisdom?
Let me tune in. What's coming through is that you've got this. You have everything inside of yourself to make your dreams happen. The biggest thing is you got to have belief in yourself. And if you don't, borrow that from people who see your gifts and surround yourself with those people and keep going. Don't give up. You are worthy of your dreams. You're so worthy of your dreams, my loves.
Everybody, do you love this woman? Can you see why I brought her on here? Put it in the comments, everybody down below, what you see in Rosalind, what you want to embody yourself. Put some thank you for her. And can you give her sparkly fingers? This is our version of a standing
I love
ovation,
it.
the
I love
body
it.
ovation. Rosalind, thank
Love
you
it.
so much. I can't wait to keep voice memoing with you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you.
So good. This day is incredible. Who gained something from that? Put it in the comments down below right now, and I'll get Rosalind popped down off here. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, there's so many speakers saying incredible things, and I'm anchoring them in with our little desk cam over here. So who's ready for another key? I've got another key for you. Pop up my desk cam. Number 5, this is something that a lot of the ladies have been saying. But in addition to you like being magnetic and like really anchoring in your own energy, there's something that makes you magnetic to your audience that is really, really powerful. And it's how you listen to your people. How do you listen to your community, to your audience? Meaning the polls and surveys, your coaching, your client calls, when interviewing people, how do you really listen to what they're saying? And how many of you have done this so far this year? Put like L in the comments down below if you've listened to somebody. Because when you can listen to your clients and you can listen to your people, they can feel your heart and they feel heard. I mean, one of the most important things, yes, you're all incredible leaders. And if I put you on stage, you can do things for hours. But one thing that you've seen in the women here is that they're really listening, both to themselves and they're really listening to their clients and the people they work with. So number 5 is listen. And when you're listening, you show people that you care, because there are a lot of people out there in the world doing what you're doing. There are a lot of people online doing all the things. And how you stand out as a magnetic leader is by how deeply you care. Lead with your heart. How many of you want to lead with more heart? Put a heart in the comments down below if you can, or just put an H in the comments for heart if you can't put a little actual heart in the comments. If you want to lead with your heart. So when you show people that you care, when you show them that you're listening to them, that you're here to hear them, it really, maybe we'll put a little purple heart for you all. It really shows them that you could be their mentor, you could be their guide. How you stand out, a lot of people doing a lot of things, but you be the one who listens more deeply. Listen to the global issues that are going on around you. in their world, in your world, and show people that you are wholeheartedly caring about what you care about. And even standing out online by, if it's right for you, in your socials and what you do, like speaking about what you care about, like show people what's on your heart. And that's one thing that will also help you to stand out as a leader. It's really, really powerful. You can do things like fundraisers. One of the women we're going to be bringing on in a little while, Carla, towards the end of today, is involved in an incredible fundraiser. And it's like you show people you care that way. And it's one way to stand out. You can volunteer your time, showing people you care as well. So how many of you want to just weave your heart and listening to your clients and your communities even more into your business? Put me in the comments down below. If you want more of that in your business, we can bring my magic desk cam down. And for those of you who need some support, who know that you're ready to take all of this magical amazingness to the next level, I wanted to give you a sweet little opportunity. Let me grab a link. I have an opportunity to support you in your business for some quick business marketing, soulful business audits. So I'll sit with you for 15 minutes, completely free, and help you to figure out what's working, what's not working, and what you can shift. So it'll be a subtle shift. So in these business breakthrough sessions, I have just a few available. You can sit with me and I will check into you and your business, and I'll help you to tune into what you've been learning here today and actually apply it in your business. So I'm going to put a link here. I have just a few spots available and I wanted to save it till the end of the day, but I was like, let me put it in here for you who are here right now because you'll get those spots. So there's my link. They're these short sessions. Normally my calendar is full and I charge, but I wanted to make some spots available for you. If you're already a client of mine, don't get one of those spots because you get regular coaching with me. But those of you who want to chat about how to implement this in your business, click that link. Put your name and email address in, and we'll have a great conversation, and I'll help you have a breakthrough. So business breakthrough sessions are available for you. So you can click that link, put your name and email address in, and we will get you sorted out. How many of you are ready for a breakthrough in your business? Like you're ready to shift the way you've been doing things. Put shift in the comments down below if you're like, let's shift this. Let's make a shift. Let's make a difference in this. Grab one of those incredible sessions. Business breakthrough sessions are there for you. They're super brief. We'll chat about if it's a fit to book a longer session, but I just want to give you like one powerful shift and one powerful breakthrough within those sessions. I have just a few available over the next few days, and then that is it for the next month. My calendar is full. Now, our next speaker is going to be coming up here in a few minutes. She's just getting her tech sorted out. And until then, I've got another key for you, amazing women. I've got another key to teach you. So while she sorts out her tech, who wants another key? Put key in the comments down below. Key in the comments down below. So we're going to get my magic desk cam. It's already up here. This is so good. So you're listening to your people. Here's another way that you can stand out online and be more magnetic for your audience. And magnetic means you're pulling them towards you gently. You're not pushing anybody. You're not convincing. You're not coercing people. It's just you being magnetic. One of the most powerful ways to be magnetic is to give, just like I just did. I'm like, my calendar is full. I usually charge for sessions, but I made a few free sessions available because I want to be able to chat with some of you ladies who are thinking like, how do I apply all this to my business? How do I make my marketing better? That's an example of give. So give people. You've also noticed our speakers, they're giving you incredible gifts. They're giving you great tips and tools that they normally would charge for behind the scenes in their long-term programs. And it's a really powerful thing when you give. So what can you give in your business? Maybe it's free gifts, masterclasses, online trainings. Sophia's giving a 4-hour full moon activation. I'm giving you all this full day of training. What can you give to your communities? And you know, women entrepreneurs often come to me and they'll say, but I don't want to charge like a higher rate because then I feel like I'm not able to give to people who need it. But there's so much that you can give. Masterclasses, challenges, online sessions, like all sorts of free tools that you can really be in service to your people. And also every time you speak, mark this down, give actionable tools. We all love the mindset stuff, and that's really important, but we need actionable tools about how to use it. We all love the big strategies, but can you be even more generous and give actual tools about how people can implement that in their lives? And that's what makes people come back for more over and over again. And when you give, it builds up this know, like, and trust factor. How many of you heard that? Like any of us in business, we're just like, we know that we need to have relationships with people. So give, give, give. Right in the chat right now, as we get ready for our next speaker, right in the chat, what can you give? More than what you're giving now. What can you like open your heart, like be on the edge of your comfort zone in your generosity? Can you give more sessions? Can you give more online classes? Can you give some in person? Can you pull together an event in your community and give that to your community? What can you give? Everybody write yours down. What's something on the edge of your comfort zone for giving? Write yours down in the chat right now as we get our next amazing guest speaker. Yay, Beverly says more free masterclasses. I love that. So we're going to bring our incredible next guest speaker, also a dear friend of mine. You can see that I just have so many women in my life who are powerful leaders, business badasses, so powerful and incredible. Heather Burgett, we're going to be bringing her up here in a second. And I'm so excited to have her. Hopefully her internet is working. If it's not, I'll just keep teaching you more tools. Oh, there it is. Yay, you're wearing my favorite color. Woo! Heather, thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad you could make it.
Me too. I was laughing because it's like always best laid plans. We had a power outage right when I got here. I was like, wow, this event is so powerful. It blew an entire city block in Los Angeles.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so glad you got it working. And thank you for taking the time to be here. I know that there's been a lot of up and down the coast of California, a lot of things happening. So thank you so much for making the time to be here. Ladies, this woman is an expert and she's also a dear friend. And I'm so excited to bring you this today because this topic is going to blow your minds, because Heather Burgett is an award-winning publicist, visibility expert, and transformational business coach. She's a visibility and PR expert for transformational coaches and consultants. Like visibility and PR, put PR in the comments down below if you're like, PR, that's going to be amazing. She guides soul-led women in business to organically generate new clients without ads or social media. Everybody do this if you're like, oh, thank heavens for that.
And tech. Let's add tech, limited tech.
Limited tech. She has helped her clients generate billions of media impressions by leveraging mainstream media and spiritual principles to blast their authority, audience, and impact through the stratosphere, everybody. So let's learn about aligned visibility for soul-led women in business with Heather Burgett. Yes. Can you all give a sparkly fingers to Heather? So good. Okay, tell everybody about your business journey. Like, how the heck did you end up as a PR expert?
Oh my gosh. Well, I loved movies and I grew up watching The Wizard of Oz, and I always just loved the power of the magic and the power of storytelling and being able to go to other worlds and over the rainbow. So as soon as I was old enough and able, after I got out of college, I was like, I want to be a movie publicist. So I hopped a plane to Los Angeles and I worked in Hollywood. And I worked on movies. And my first big film campaign was the Blair Witch Project, which still remains to this day one of the most profitable independent films ever made, grossing over 250 million worldwide. So it was truly baptism by fire. And it's just, gone on from there. I started my own business a couple years later. I've been an entrepreneur for over 2 decades. And in recent years, I decided that I was looking at a gap in the industry for women professionals and entrepreneurs and business owners that often PR is cost prohibitive. It's this mysterious thing. People think it's for later. So I said, you know what, instead of repping all these millionaires and billionaires, I can take this information to the world and all the people out there that really need it and help them with their visibility and their PR. And so that's what I'm doing these days, is really, I have my agency still, but I'm more focusing on my online programs and community. And what you're doing here today is exactly in alignment with where I think everything is heading, where it's the new paradigm of business. It's about community, connection, collaboration, conversation. And so thank you, Elizabeth. I'm honored to be here, and I really appreciate you having me come out today.
Well, I'm so glad that you're part of this conversation, and everyone I've known Heather for years now, and I have seen her work, and she's given programs to the women in our longer term programs, and it's just like powerful and it works. So you're making PR accessible to I want to say the word average businesswoman, but there's no such thing as average, but you're making PR accessible and successful to every woman in business. And it's like that comes from your heart, and you bring like a spiritual, open-hearted aspect to it. It's incredible. So thank you for that. So should we jump right in? You have a little process you want to do. Is that first, or should we jump right into some more strategy?
Let's take the temperature of the room. How many people here would be interested in identifying and anchoring your visibility vision? So we all know that when you
Put
are
a V in the comments down below if you want that.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, pop a Y or a yes if you're interested, a V, yeah. Any response will do.
Visibility vision, because when you know that, I imagine that it's going to make your visibility much easier.
Yes, when we have the frequency of what we know, what we want to have, and the other side of where we are now, then it's so much easier to call it in. We're literally entering the quantum field when we can anchor an energy and a frequency and tension in our system. So I would love to walk everyone through a very short, it's not going to be long, a very short exercise.
Let's do it, because so many women feel like they're scared of visibility, and like what it's like this beast that they don't want, but we need it for our businesses. So we have this love-hate. So I think that this process is going to be really beautiful. So Heather and I were chatting about it behind the scenes, everyone, and we've brought you something really special. So I'm going to pop off the screen, give the floor to you, Heather, for about 3-4 minutes, and you're all about to have an excellent visibility breakthrough. So Heather, take it away.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, I know you've been getting a lot of information today. It's incredible information, and it's a gift for anything you've received today. And we're just going to take a moment to really get into our bodies, to get present, to feel your bum in your chair, feet flat on the ground if possible, and just really feel grounded. And for any of you who have worked with grounding cords before, we're going to envision our grounding cord. It's a cord that comes from your tailbone and goes all the way back to the core of the earth. And it can be any color, size, shape. It is hollow. So as you're grounding, you're feeling into your body, and you're releasing anything that does not serve in this moment down that grounding cord. Now let's just take a deep breath into this grounding, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And now you're going to envision a string of light coming up from your crown chakra to the heavens. And it's going to almost lift you as if you were a marionette and lengthen your spine, and see that light shooting all the way up to the heavens. So now we have you grounded between heaven and earth. This is a neutral place you can always come back to feel the present moment. And in this moment and from this place, we want to create your visibility vision. So take a moment to think about, what is your vision? What would be a win for you? Would it be appearing on a certain stage, in a certain media outlet, being interviewed by a certain person, maybe Oprah? A lot of people will say Oprah, Super Soul Sunday. So envision that happening for you, whatever it is. Like, don't let me put it in your mind. I'm just offering some ideas or suggestions to help you along the way. But think about where you want to be appearing. Maybe it's just being more present on your social media platforms, having a show, a podcast, whatever it is. So now that you've got that thing that you know is a key to your visibility vision of you showing up bigger and brighter in the world, we want to think about what exactly is happening. And the key here is the feeling. What is exactly happening in your life once you are on the other side of having this win and this visibility vision come to fruition? When you're on the other side of it, what's happening in your life? Is it a wait list of clients, right? Is it having a bigger thriving audience, making more impact in the world? Is it your bank account's overflowing? I know for a lot of entrepreneurs, that's, we all want to call in that, monetizing our magic and the compensation. So really feel now into that, those results that you're getting from your visibility vision. Feel that in your body. And where does it live? Feel that feeling in your body of that result having happened and all the wonderful things coming and landing and already having happened. Now, many of my clients and community members will say that it's in the heart. Wherever you feel called to, go ahead and put your hands on that spot in your body. Sometimes it's lower, solar plexus, sacral. Go ahead and take a moment to feel into this feeling a little deeper. And we're going to take a couple breaths here. Knowing it's possible for you, it's in progress, it's happening, it's already happened, and you can have this. Okay, now the final piece of feeling this feeling, this is you're all right now doing quantum field work, feeling into it already happening. The quantum field does not know if it has or hasn't actually happened. So by maintaining this frequency and vibration, this is the thing that's going to have the results land, the people, places, opportunities come in faster, easier. And it's not about holding this all the time, but always coming back to this feeling. And the last piece of this that we're going to do today is we're going to give this feeling a name. So just take a breath or two into this feeling and name it with one word. Okay, so this is how we anchor the frequency of your vision so that you can have it. And this is where we start, and this is the energy and the vibration that we want to create and co-create our business from. So I'd love to see in the chat, share your word. What is your word that you use to anchor your vision?
So powerful. What a beautiful
Freedom.
moment.
That's the first one that came up for me, and the first one someone put in there was it felt like freedom. Home, presence, reach, bliss. Awesome. Yes. Beautiful.
Ooh, Tanya had Phoenix.
I
Really
love it.
good. Isn't it incredible to anchor this in because we can get into like all the strategy stuff, but we need it here first. If it says expansion.
Expansion. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Heather, this is incredible. Your work is so powerful, and we need just like more and more and more of you, obviously. But what do you want to anchor in about what they just did?
Well, really, I would say the key is knowing that it's not just about visibility for visibility's sake. It's about visibility with a purpose.
Yeah.
So you need to have a sustainable business model. You need to have an offer or offerings that sustain you. So then, organic lead gen involves, that's how you're getting the visible through your writing, speaking, and the media. And then that's when you can actually convert, right? That's where you can get compensated for your magic. So having just the visibility is great, but it means a lot more if you're bringing people into your orbit, as Elizabeth's been teaching you today, and having a way for them to come in and have a journey to the point where they're actually working with you and hiring you.
Yeah, so true and so powerful. And we're going to jump right into what your offering is, because people are like, oh, this is so good. And there aren't a lot of people doing what you're doing, Heather. And that's why the power of PR is so valuable for businesses, but knowing how to actually do it. So what have you got for everybody?
Well, I do a lot. I have a lot of gifts and free things. And I came in just as you were talking about all of that. And I do think that is the key, is leading with generosity and giving. So I do have, I have a regular live visibility masterclass. And if I get the link for you, everyone could.
We've got Shine Superpower.
Oh, the quiz. Yes, we can do the quiz.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have so many gifts.
You're like, what have we got? Well, that's the one that I think the quiz is really cool because then people can know what their type is. So the quiz is there. Let's give them the quiz.
Okay, so visibility archetypes are very important because then we know your strengths and what we need to lean into more. So you're either going to be a light walker, a world changer, a transformer, or a protector. Now, this is after decades of doing this work. I identified these 4 categories. So yes, shinesuperpower.com.
Perfect. Everybody click that, get that quiz. And then Heather, we're streaming out to multiple different places on the internet right now. So you can go to those places and drop that in as well.
Perfect.
You are live streamed, and everybody taking this quiz is going to really help you to, like, I love it because there's no just one type. There's not one size fits all for everyone in business. So I love that you're helping us to identify our archetypes, and then you'll guide us to what we can do with them. Very cool.
Yes, it's always got to be customized because no 2 visibility journeys are exactly the same. So yeah, it's helpful to know where at least like a general starting point. So once you get here, then you'll be in my orbit and we can stay connected, and I can, I have a lot of free content. So I'm happy to like support you all in whatever way I can.
Thanks, Heather, so much for this beautiful gift, for your training, for this powerful moment in the midst of this live stream, for everybody to really tune into their words. Everybody, I recommend you take those words and make them color. Heather, what do you want to leave everybody here with? A couple words of inspiration.
Yeah. Just to really not be scared of it. Because I think that's one of the number one things that come up, especially with women who are pivoting or new in the online space, or most of you are experts. That's why you're here, and you have an expertise, maybe even for decades. But we're living in a new world now, and we have to be able to adapt. And having an online presence is critical. And having an aligned presence is even more important because we don't want you doing things that don't feel good to you. That's why it's possible to do organic visibility without relying on social media or Facebook ads, right? There are other ways. So
Yes.
just know that you can do it. There's hope, not to be scared of it. And, keep connecting with incredible leaders and teachers like Elizabeth, and you're going to keep getting exposed to the guidance that you need to get further along in your path.
Thank you, Heather.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's so good to reconnect with you here and have you on this. And I'm looking forward to more, and I love what you do and I love what you bring here. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you for having me. Lots of love to everyone.
Everybody sparkle fingers for Heather and put some love in the comments for her. What qualities do you see in her as a leader and her expertise that you would like to embody in your own business? Put it in the comments right now, and put what was your main takeaway from what Heather just said. Put it in the comments. Thanks again, Heather.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Mwah.
So good. She radiates magic and expertise. It's just this beautiful combo. So put that in the comments. And I love it. Like the visibility journey. How many of you have been on a visibility journey? Nod your heads if you're like, I want it, but I don't. It's just this relationship. Heather can help you with all that. It's so powerful. So visibility with purpose. It's so very true. So I have another key for you to add to our amazing and growing abundant magical list over here. So let's add another one. Are you ready? Are you ready? This is number 7. So we were talking about giving. Let's talk about when you give. There's something that really makes a leader magnetic, is that when they own a space, not the whole world, but when they own one space. And I like to call this one stay in your lane. So write down stay in your lane. It doesn't mean you have to pinch off all the amazing creative things that you want to do, but up front, pick a lane and stick in it, meaning pick something that you stand for. Heather could do everything to do with business, but her upfront lane is PR. And isn't that cool? So it really magnetizes people towards you when you have something up front that is kind of like a more narrow lane that eventually you can bring all of your magic and wisdom in. I like to think about this like, have you ever seen the drawing? If you know what it is, you can tell me, of the prism, where if it's just dispersed light, nothing happens. But when you take a laser light and you shine it into a prism, somebody tell me what happens on the other side of this incredible prism when you shine a laser light into it. Somebody tell me. You got it. It activates the possibility and potential out the other side. And the reason this matters to you as a woman entrepreneur who's creative is that I know you've taken hundreds, if not thousands of hours of training. I know that you have done all the magical, incredible things. I know you have so much to offer. But if you have one lane on the front side, this is your marketing, and you have all your magic and your rainbows and your butterflies and all of your beauty on the other side, that works. But if you try to be in all the lanes on your marketing side, it's going to be like too much for people and they won't be able to find you. So pick a lane. Everybody do this with your hands. Pick a lane, go into it, and then serve people through the back end. If anybody can identify the album cover, bonus points for you. That was used. It's a sciencey thing, but that's also cool. Okay, let's come back to my main screen. That was, you got it, Sal, of course. So number 7 is stay in your lane. Now, remember, if you want to book a session with me and you want to talk about how all of this can be implemented in your business and you want a coach's eyes on your business, I want to sit with you and we'll have a great conversation about how this can really be applied in your business. So I have a few available. Let me just get in the chat again. I should really get the team to copy this link down. There we go. I have a few spots available for completely free sessions. I rarely do this, and I have short sessions where I sit with you and help to audit your business and your processes to see what's working, what you're doing, what you're missing. And I can give you in 15 minutes a really quick breakthrough. So grab one of those calls, put your name and email address in, and we'll have a great conversation. So really excited. Beverly's first business was called Butterflies and Rainbows. So some of you I'm going to have a great conversation with, and we'll see if it's a fit to book a future session. There's no pressure for these sessions. I just want to talk to as many of you as possible. Now, we have another incredible speaker who's about to come up. I just get to be surrounded by the most wonderful women who I have so much respect for and so much admiration for, and who are incredible, magnetic, wild women. So Sal, I'm so excited to have you up here. Our next speaker, Daina. She's a visibility healer, personal video brand medium. So Sal, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. What an incredible morning, and welcome, welcome, welcome to all the ladies here to my space. And I'm just going to take one quick second to acknowledge the traditional owners on the land where you stand today, please, Elizabeth. I don't know where that is. Where is that?
This is the traditional, I was born and raised in the traditional land of the Tk'emlúps te Secwepemc people, and I am a Métis woman, which means part Indigenous and part European.
I would really like to pay my respects to you, to your elders, to the land on which you stand, and thank you.
Thank you
for having me on your land. I would also like to pay respects to my elders and your elders, everybody here watching and listening today, that we stand on the lands and the shoulders of many great women. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you brought that in. I knew you were going to. So everybody, let me introduce Sal and then we'll jump right in. But she is a guide for next level women entrepreneurs and leaders, revolutionizing video influence and establishing lasting legacies. And as you all know, I am a huge proponent and lover of video. It's why I teach women to make video shows, not just audio, because video is powerful. So she's an award-winning film producer. So you and Heather got to connect if you don't know each other yet. You got some past.
Yeah, we do know each other. Yeah, I love Heather.
Award-winning film producer, healing visibility blocks by spiritual mediumship, channeling authentic, profound transformation. So Sal's going to be teaching you about how women can step into their next level of visibility using video. So these two talks go along just beautifully. So excited to have you. Let's jump right in and talk about how you came to be from film producer and like all the things that you've done. What's your journey been and how did you get to be here?
Thank you. And I also have to just say you've curated an amazing live stream, Elizabeth. Like, it's really incredible. And each step that you give and each person that talks is really building this knowledge for your community. And it's such an honor to be here. So just ups to you. And I mean, have you been going now for 2 hours and 15 minutes?
I have been.
Wow. Like, can we give back some love to Elizabeth? That is epic. Man, that is like magnetic influence right there. Amazing. And I thought I would put on my yellow hat to match you today. And I love that I'm wearing a whole lot of pink because Heather was wearing that. And I'm going to get everybody to just look at the screens in front of you apart from yourself and just see how much the three of us pop, right? I can also see how much Beverly pops, Beverly Emanada and Yvette, of course. Inga, I love seeing you here. She helped me dress today. So I come from a place, and I'm going to take it off because I really just want to do that. But I mentioned this color because I used to hide out behind the camera for 10 years. I was hiding out wearing black only. And my sister came to my house one day and she said, your whole wardrobe's black. And it just
Mine
was one
used
of
to be
those.
like that too. I had everything black.
Right? Totally invisible to yourself, to others, not showing up, putting everybody else's dreams before my own. And I did. I went all in with my career as a filmmaker. And I did walk on the red carpets and I did meet amazing people and I had an amazing life. And inside I was dying. I was drinking myself slowly but surely to death. And I'm sober 17 years this year. And that journey of sobriety meant that I had to start facing what was deep inside me. And I found that when my mother got cancer, it found us, honestly, through Facebook in the end, a Facebook ad, a modality called The Journey, which I became a trainer for 10 years. I ended up working for them, increasing their sales through online marketing by 150% in Australia. And then the pandemic hit and crushed. I'm a practitioner in that modality as well. And I was led again from Facebook to another live stream just like this, like you ladies, basically exactly the same as where you are today, which changed my life. There was an opportunity to win a prize. Just like I bet Elizabeth's giving you the opportunity to do. So play, show up, have a go, be seen for yourself. Just see what happens. Anyway, the prize was you could win a coaching package if you made a video. That's simple. And I am highly competitive, right? You might be an introvert or an extrovert, but I am deeply competitive. I love the idea of competition in its original form, which was to go together more, further. It actually wasn't to win. That's what politicians turned it to be, right? But it was the coming together to petition for a greater good. That's where the word stems from. And I know I loved Elizabeth's way that she describes magnetic, which I'm going to build on today with this. So the long story short is I did that video and I hit a shame button once I'd posted it in such a deep way, a spiral that took me right down to my core trauma. And using my own skills, I brought myself back up and I had to relook at it. And I was like, wow. And then I put my eagle kind of head producer hat on. And I was like, what happened? And I was not aligned in the video to who I am, to what my message was, and what I wanted to do. I wanted to win a prize. I wanted to heal women, just a trigger warning, but I wanted to heal men so that they wouldn't hurt women because I'm an adult child survivor of sexual abuse in a family dynamic. So I had these kind of purposes, right, that I was going for. And I wanted to do it for men, really, because I thought that they were the problem, right? So I make this video and I go to this shame spiral and I come back up out of it and the competition's got 4 minutes to go. And I'm like, I hate that video. I've got to take it down. I can't do that video. But I've been watching all the women for 3 days. I've been critiquing them saying, you know what? If you just stood a little bit differently, if you just put on a nice top, if you just sorted that background out, if you got some light in your face, if you weren't hiding down here in the corner, I was critiquing and directing them from my chair. So I just jumped in. They of course couldn't hear me. And I jumped in on my camera and I was like, you know what? Listen, if you're making videos and you think you look crap, you're probably right. So come and join my Facebook group. Okay, I'm done. That was all I could manage. I just wanted to win, right? So I'm competitive. And I put this video up and the next morning there are 30 people saying, can I join your group? I don't have a group. So I start a group.
You spoke from what was true for you, what was arising for you, and it was magnetic.
And it was what people needed.
Yeah.
It wasn't just magnetic, but it was like to Heather's point and to your point all day. People need this.
Yeah.
And it got deeper every time. And then I rang my sister. I'm like, I need better outfits. And I rang a production designer. And I'm like, I need a background. And I rang people. I was like, I'm from the film business. I'm like, let's sort me out. but it was a pandemic. Remember it? Does everybody remember? You can't leave your house.
How could
You have
we
to
forget?
use what's in the house. You have to use what's in the house. It was a brick shit house. I lived in a brick shit house. I bought a house in the pandemic in India. It closed down. I had nowhere to stand. It was hideous. You can go back and watch my videos in my Facebook group from the early days. So you can start from anywhere, ladies, just start. And hit the visibility block and heal it. That's for me
Yes.
the game.
So this is incredible because I've had the visibility block journey. Like there was no way I was going to get in front of my business. I produced other speakers. I produced events and put speakers on stage. I published a magazine and put everybody else on the cover.
Right.
And I made a video started coming online. I couldn't deny it. And I made a video and I was like, shame spiral, hit it for 3 years, everybody. And now I'm like, I love video.
Yes.
But it's possible to come through it and get to the other side. And I love the tools. So like it's something as simple as like sorting out, getting the light on your face, getting your background sorted out, like getting your color sorted out. It's like, and then it's that inner stuff too. So I love what you're bringing here today. What's another tip that you can give everybody for getting visible on video?
So everything is there in your life and in your house right now. This is the very first thing to take away, that my sister and I over the last 3.5 years really have grounded in on this. And she's here today watching, which is awesome. But we really grounded into this reality that authenticity is the absolute key to it. And so you could go around your house today, particularly if you're an introvert, and you could go around your house, turn the camera out and look around your home as if you're taking your friend through your house for the first time. A new friend, and you want to show them all the things you love about it, just the things you love, okay? And then you look at it and you think, is it the color? Is it the shape? Is it the moment in time? Is it the way it fills the space? Is it the way it makes me feel? Whatever it is, it's got a key for you. That key could be that when you wear it or put it behind your camera, it gives you courage. That could be a key for you. Because at the end of the day, the conviction is what will drive forward your courage. The conviction in who you are and where it's coming from. It could be color, a very essential part. I've brought them up. I always hide self-view. This is another hot tip. The mind is designed to look for itself. We are a pure reflection of our innermost beauty and light. So when we're criticizing others, it's coming from the place we criticize in ourselves. When we're loving others, it's coming from the place we love in ourselves. Very key, important part. So, and the only thing that the body knows as it grows from embryo to today is the image of itself, created, as we know, in the universal oneness of love. So just to be clear on this, wearing color is deep. Color has meaning, vibration. It has been studied for the ages. Sometimes eyes changed in humanity and we started to see blue. This is a fact, people. Lapis lazuli changed the light. My sister did these. She made these. And so, there's 60 different greens. A green has a meaning. What does it look like on you? A block color will always work on a busy background. Don't wear
when
black.
You're going
Don't wear
online,
red.
everybody, and you want to stand out, color matters. So this is so cute because
color
today
is queen
I
of
was
the
like,
screen.
what color should I wear? And I was like, should it be my pink? And so I had this out and then I was like, no, I'm feeling the yellow, but I knew it had to be bold and bright in order to stand out. So everybody here, like, go grab something that's more colorful. Okay, keep going. You've got about 2 minutes left. I'm
Okay,
like,
so
we
the
need
other
more,
thing
Sal.
is-
I want to do a full hour with you because this is incredible.
Thank you so much. So the other thing is that I, with my trauma, have to have my sister style me. That's an imperative. I've changed over the 3 years. Thank God she's healed me from putting on different clothes. I can now, take my clothes off. I can do a whole bunch of things that I couldn't do. And many of our ladies, a 75-year-old woman told us yesterday, a beautiful client of ours, she said, I love dressing up now. This 75-year-old woman who's just amazing, so it's fun.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say.
We're
I want
allowed to have fun with it.
You make it fun. You make your business fun. We've had enough pain, but when the pain comes up, we get it. And now you also might be visible and think, oh, I'm visible. I'm on camera. I'm doing the things. But I can guarantee you, if you've plateaued, if you're not pushing through to the next level, you are visible, but you're not iconic. So just start where you are. If you want to be iconic, whoever remembers Torval and Dean? Am I in the right place? Who remembers Torval and Dean? Iconic. The Bolero, right? We remember it. But Andre Rieu took the Bolero and thought, Once you put classical music with a whole lot of spectacle and color, it becomes deeply, deeply popular, right? Who remembers Elton John? Who remembers him, right? Now everybody's wearing big glasses. Now here's the thing about the big glasses, right? Is at the end of the day, they matter. So if you wear them, these you can't see, these you can see.
Matters.
Right? It matters. It has an effect. People think it doesn't matter. It does matter. So be conscious, love yourself, look in the mirror, find the one thing you love about yourself and amplify it to the high levels. And yeah, that's all I got.
Oh my gosh, find the one thing that you love about yourself, everyone, and amplify that. How many of you feel more
Amplify it.
courageous right now to be like, oh, I'm going to get a bold color on, I'm going to do video, like I'm going to move forward. Sal, I need more of you. I love your energy so much, and
Yeah.
there's a depth to what you bring. So thank you.
Look, I love
What's
your
the gift that
energy
you have
too.
for everybody? How can they find you some more?
It's in the Facebook group. You can get a list of the colors and the values. You can see the trainings. You know, there'll be a masterclass in March coming up, the pillars of potent personal branding. Just come and join in and have some fun, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you. This has been so cool.
Thank you,
And
Tonya.
just like
Thank
these
you, Rachel.
bursts of color, everyone. So what is a final word of wisdom that you want to leave everybody off here with?
I think the truth is that color is queen of the screen. Your magnetic influence is really about knowing that the light in you is a vibration that's traveling through the world, and it is what's going to touch the other people's hearts. It's a triangle of trust, you know? My friend calls it the Trinity of trust.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right, everybody, you're ready to touch hearts around the world, just like Sal has done here today. Sal, you are magnetic. Thank you for being here. Everybody give
Thank you for
Sal
having me.
sparkly fingers, because that energy travels across the world to her. So everybody give sparkle fingers. This is how we give applause online. And put something in the comments. What are you taking away from this? And what do you see in her? And thank you again, Sal, so much.
Thank you so much.
So good. Oh my gosh, put in the comments, like I said, what do you see in Sal? What's your one key takeaway from what you just got from what she said? Like, it's so good. It's really, really cool. Everybody, this is a powerful day, and you're learning so much in ways to be magnetic as a business so that you can attract more clients, so that you can do what you love. Like if you're ready to really move forward and continue to do what you love and bring in clients and income without the push, struggle, and hustle at all, we were talking about earlier, just say yes in the comments down below. If it's your time to do it without the push, without the struggle, and without the hustle, I have another key for you. Let's write it down. How many of you have multiple pages of notes right now? Just wave your hand at me if you're like, I've got so many good notes. This is like a total VIP incubator day. Okay, number 8. Number 8. If you want to stand out and be magnetic and attract your people, I love this one. This one I really adore, because being a highly sensitive, intuitive, pretty much introverted person, this has been the thing that has built my business. It's not staying small. It's not staying hiding. We're just talking about visibility, but out in the world doing things that get noticed. So I, with no experience, published a magazine. I owned a yoga studio. I was like, I don't have any experience at this. I'll just do that. I produced large-scale transformational festivals and conferences from scratch on my own. Those are big things. I'm right here leading a live stream right now with some of my dearest friends and guest experts from around the world. It's do big things. So this is a way to be magnetic. And some of you who have, whoops, let's write this down. Do big things. What is your big thing to do? It's a way that people will notice you, and it's a way that you can have authority in a space, because you are the gatherer of people, or you're the producer of an event, or you just, even if putting on a masterclass or hosting your own online TV show, or standing on stage and delivering a soul talk, a potent short talk that we teach. It's like doing these big things. They're fun. And they attract clients to you without you having to like go out and like try to get clients or like scrape the world for clients. Just do big things that come from your heart, and it pulls people towards you. So this is number 8, do big things. Put in the comments down below right now, what's a big thing that you could do? And in your world, a big thing might feel like, I'm going to put on a talk in my local community. A big thing might be reaching out personally on Messenger or voice memo to like 30 different people. Grab your phone and reach out. You might be like, oh my gosh, that feels like a big thing. It might be gathering people doing something like this. It might be becoming iconic, like becoming more visible, like doing visibility videos, not every day for 30 days, but every day for a year. I wouldn't be online on the weekends because I don't work weekends, but maybe I'll do 5 days a week. So what is your biggest takeaway, everybody, from this? 2 big things. What are you going to do as a big thing in your communities and in your business? Put it in the comments down below. Like, what if we held you accountable right now for the next big thing that you're going to do? What if we held you accountable for your next big magical moment? And what if a week from now, you're like, I did a big thing and it made a difference. Like, it did a big thing and it really stood out. And if you want to figure out how to implement doing big things in your business and you want to have a chat with me and have me help you apply all of this, just click my link. I'm sticking it in the comments right here, right now. Click my link. I've got a few spots left in my calendar for quick chats. We'll have a great conversation about your business and how you can implement these tools. And I'll audit your processes for you as well. You'll have a breakthrough, super quick breakthrough. So everybody, amazingness, do big things. Speaking of big things, I have another speaker to bring up here in a moment. But you know what I'm going to do? I am going to do a separate recording. So let me just pop this recording off and do another one because we're doing replays for some of you. And I want it in 3 separate segments. All right. Speaking of big things, I'm so excited. And record. Here we go. Speaking of big, amazing things, our next speaker is about to come up. She's absolutely incredible. Who's been having an incredible day here so far and learning from the speakers? Put L for learning from the speakers if you have been in the comments down below, because our next speaker, Aesha Shapiro, is here. And I'm so very excited to have you. So thank you so much for being here, Aesha. Let's make sure your audio is working.
Yes, thank you.
Yay,
Ladies.
perfect.
Aloha. I just lowered my hand real quick.
This woman is a super incredible badass, a wonderful woman with an absolutely enormous heart. So let me tell you about her, and then you'll all be learning some incredible stuff from her. So she's the founder and CEO of Launch Your Fempire. Isn't that cool? An idea to launch incubator for fempreneurs. She's fiercely driven by a desire to uplift and support women-owned businesses and provide a community where they can come together for support, promote, and inspire one another. And Aesha, I know you get behind community so much, and you build community, you lift other women. It's really powerful. So I'm so glad that you're here. And Aesha's going to be teaching you all a little bit today about training women to launch their freedom businesses and fempires. And she's really a community building expert. So Aesha, thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. Do you want me
such
to
an incredible
dive
day
in?
so far. Let's just dive into your journey. Like, how did you end up being an entrepreneur and doing what you're doing?
Gosh, it's such a long journey, but I'll give you the short of it. I'm a special needs solo mother, and I started my business in my backyard over 8 years ago. My son's father had left me and my son. He left for meth. So that was really fun. And I found myself in this place of like complete, desperation and what am I going to do? And so I listened to this like intuitive voice that came in out of nowhere. And it said, have a pop-up market in your backyard. And I was like, where is this coming from? But like, okay, because at the time I was refinishing furniture and I love making party decorations. So I was like, I'm just going to throw a little party. And then next thing I knew, there was another 14 women that joined me. So that was when Ladies Artisan Market was born. And that was the first iteration of my business. And it was the feeling of being around all those women that night that just sparked this whole new thing for me. It was the community, it was the support, and I was like, I want more of this. So we kept going. I kept building this business, doing bigger markets. We started doing networking events for women in business because I was really seeing a gap there that we needed to like commiserate. We needed to talk. We needed to connect and help each other, right? Refer each other. So it's been such a journey. And then, of course, you know, COVID hit, right? Like it affected all of us in different ways. I lost my career again because I was an in-person event planning business.
I know
And
what
so
that's
that's
like.
when I decided to take the business online. And so without building the community that I had built the whole like 7 years before this happened, I would have never been able to bring the business online. It was because of that I was able to naturally, you know, do that. And so now we are a training company and we have, you know, 2 programs and we help women launch their Fempires, basically.
Really cool. It really speaks to the having the community around you can get you through anything. It's not about having the best program or course or the fanciest tools or technology. It's about your community. And that is so powerful. So everybody, when Aesha and I were talking behind the scenes, I was like, can you bring some community building strategies? Because that is one of the many things you're an expert on. So I want to give you the floor for about 3 minutes to just like guide these women into community. Would that be cool?
Yes, I would love
Let's
that.
do it. Okay, I'm going to pull myself down and give you the floor. Let's learn some community.
Right.
Put a C in the comments down below for community with Aesha, and I'll be back in about 3 minutes.
All right, ladies. So one of the things that I've done, what I've consistently done, and this is the way to really grow that know, like, and trust factor, is I created an event, a consistent event for the last 8 years we've been doing this, and that was a coffee date. It was something very simple. It was called Face-to-Face Fridays. I think, Holly, you've been to a few of those. I see you here in the audience. Yep, Holly's been there. And so we started this years ago because, again, I was just having this need to get one-on-one with women, get into a group with women in person. And we would sit and we would have coffee together and we would go around in a circle. And we made sure that it was something that everyone could engage in, right? This isn't a place to go to just sell your stuff. It's not like kind of that BNI networking or something like that. This is way more of a value piece that you want to give and provide. And so usually the prompt was, what are you excited about in your business? And what is something that you're struggling with, right? Those 2 sentences, those 2 asks opened up the conversation for women to be really vulnerable about what they were struggling about, and they got to celebrate something that they were excited about. And in that process, yes, they got to share about their business, but it wasn't in that salesy way that can be really a turnoff for people, right? So this was one of the ways that we started to really grow my list. We had them sign in. We had a business card table so everyone could exchange information. And because we consistently did this year after year, I grew my online Facebook community to over, 1,800 women. We eventually started doing this on Zoom as well. And so we're doing this every month, twice a month, in person and on Zoom. And I'm telling you, the highest conversion rates, like the most business I've gotten, is because of this free event that we've consistently done that has given women a place to just feel seen, heard, and cherished, and like they get to connect. So I would highly recommend looking at something in your own niche, in your own business, and seeing if there's something that you can do or create that's regular, that's consistent, that will give your potential clients, your current clients, something to count on, a place to feel safe, a container of some sort. Maybe I could hear from one or 2 of you. Could you drop it in the chat? What are your niches? That way I can maybe come up with some ideas for you. So, some people, for instance, work with grief, right? So having a grief circle within your Facebook group that's free, that happens once a month, where people can come and they know you're there and they get to just share how they're feeling that day. Okay, holistic cancer wellness specialist, exactly, I think I'm saying it right, Tanya. That's an amazing niche, first of all, and thank you for that, because the world needs you. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like something like that, where a cancer survivor, they're having a completely different experience than someone who is not a cancer survivor. And only they really understand each other. And so providing some sort of an online container that's secure and safe for them to just really talk about the things they probably can't even share with their own families sometimes would be really powerful, right? Dementia caregiver coach. Oh my goodness, right? So these caregivers getting together and just being able to off gas what it's like to, be in that caregiving position. Dealing with someone with dementia is definitely taxing on the system and heartbreaking, right? So just giving people a chance to feel like they're not alone, I'm telling you, is one of the most powerful things you can do for somebody. At the end of the day, we just want to be seen. We want to be heard. We want to be acknowledged. We want to be recognized, right? And doing that in community is something that's so a part of our DNA. We're not meant to do anything alone, or we would be walking this planet by ourselves, right? So it's really important to think about this. And the other thing I'll say is, you want to have a structure to something like this, because us women, we love to chat, right? If you're just serving women, we all get a little chatty. And so you want to make sure that there's some sort of leadership happening, right? So in my group, in the coffee dates, we give it a time limit, like, hey, ladies, you get 5 minutes each. We say we don't interrupt any woman in this space. We are not coaching women in this space. You are just here. We're not interrupting, right? You're just here to listen. And we don't even allow like crazy clapping. We do like the same kind of sparkle fingers here that we do online, just not to break up the energy, unless it's like something really amazing. Then we'll give a little whoop whoop, but we want to have some structure to it so it doesn't run wild and it feels like a safe space. If people are not respecting the boundaries, or things don't feel like they're being ran smoothly, then the energy can quickly shift in a situation like this. And that's not what you want, right? So these are definitely some of the strategies that I've used for years now. And I really feel like the women have gotten so much value out of it. That's what we hear the most of. Like, thank you for providing this space for me. I've met my business bestie, my partner, my blah, 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 through something like that. So
Aesha,
yeah.
these tips are super cool. How many of you are loving this so far?
Yay.
It's just like you carry such wisdom for community. And it's all about bringing people together. It's the same thing. Like in our programs, I have women contact me and say, like, I'm collaborating with somebody I met years ago. They're like, they are best friends now. And I've been thinking about it, like the entrepreneurial journey isn't always easy. And as women, sometimes we push ourselves to the edge and beyond. And so the women that we have who hold us up, like Aesha, you've been somebody that, like, when we connect behind the scenes, I'm like, we're holding each other up sometimes. And it's so important and so powerful. So having community isn't just about all the people, but it's about like finding those ones who really you can connect with. And then when you all provide that for your communities, it's just like you're providing something that's so invaluable. So Aesha, this is awesome. And I'm so excited because I'm getting women together locally for the first time in a while too. And it's just like, thank you for the reminder of how important this is. How many of you are going to do this in your communities? Put yes in the comments down below if you're like, this is happening. I'm bringing people together. When you are the gatherer, I call it the kid with the ball. Like you're the kid with the ball. Everybody wants to play.
Yeah. Exactly. And the thing was, it wasn't really about like, oh, I'm going to get these people in this group just so I can sell to them, right? It wasn't like that. Like my heart is so excited for these coffee dates. This means so much to me. I get so much out of it too. This is, something that fills my soul. And, when my son's father left and I was in like one of the darkest places of my entire life, I was so sick of my own pain and story that getting into service is what saved my life, because I could not handle my own mind anymore. I needed to get these idle hands working, you know? And so I jumped in to volunteer with as many things as I could at being a solo mom of a special needs 2-year-old, you know, but I was like, we're going to do something because I can't. I have too much to give and I can't stand my own thoughts, you know, and just moving the energy that I did by doing that is how I became this entrepreneur, and how I saw, oh my God, we need to be giving women a space, you know? And so that's how this all happened. It really has to come from like a loving place where you want to serve your clients or your potential clients. This can't just be to reel people into your business. That's not what we're saying here.
And we
you know?
started this day with this conversation around being in a heart of service and giving and putting your people first.
Wow.
So glad like you're just weaving it back in here, like it's been throughout the day, and it's like being of service. So I love this so much. You have a gift to give to people. What do you want to talk about that? What that is?
Yes, I do. So ladies, we have a planner for you that I designed. So I also geek out on
planners,
planning and time management, because again, I'm crazy busy solo mom of a special needs child. He's now almost 10, but still my time is limited. So I have to brain dump and write everything out and get it out of here. I have ADHD, so I need things to, you know, line up. It's a struggle for me. So the calendar is right there. We would love to have you download it. I have like so many different ways
wonderful
of calendaring in here. So if you're like me and you want to get it all, there's a brain dump page, there's a daily page, a weekly page, a monthly page. So
Aesha, I didn't know you made these things because I love calendars and like geeking out on like planners. This is so cool. So it's in the comments down below, everybody, right now. If you're watching out in the live stream world, because we're streaming on 5 different channels right now as well, Aesha, you can go to those places and like drop your link in to make sure that they're there, because we're all over the internet.
Thank you.
Everybody, this is really, really cool. Aesha, this gift is amazing. And I know it's going to serve these entrepreneurs. What is the one thing that you want to leave everybody here off with today?
Oh gosh, just that, you know, remembering that sales is service, right? Sales is service. And one of the things that I've just been holding on to is that my purpose is bigger than the fear that will inevitably come up as you keep scaling, as you keep growing. Your purpose has to be bigger than the fear, you know? So I'm going to leave you with that. And thank you. It was such an honor to be here with all of you. Elizabeth, you're so beautiful and amazing.
Oh, it's true. Purpose bigger than your fear. Aesha, I adore you. I always have. And I'm just so excited to be able to connect with you here. Thank you for giving. Like we were saying, thank you for being of service to this community today, and to being of service to all the women whose lives you touch. You are such a heart. I adore you. You're incredible. I can't wait for more. Like I need more. I need to start doing, how many of you know for sure that I need to start doing like hour-long interviews on my show? Because these women, I want to pick like deep into the details. Yes. So good. Thanks again, Aesha. Everybody, what did you take away from this? Put it in the chat. Mwah, love you. Put it in the chat and put what qualities you see in Aesha down below as well. Like what qualities did you see in her that you really want to bring into your business? What's something that she said that you're like, I need this in my business. It's going to make a huge difference. So good. Are we loving this? This is amazing. Okay. I've got this time of day, the sunbeam just like crazy. It gets in my eyes. So let me just pull the curtain a little bit. So it's not just like beaming in my eyes. I'm being beamed by women in sunshine all day long. It's so good. Okay. Let's come back. Are we ready to come back to our keys, our magnetic influence keys over here? The elements of a magnetic business. I'm going to come back over to my amazing little desk cam and give you key number 10. Put yes in the comments down below. Face-to-face Fridays. I know that was so cool. Heartfelt authenticity, resilience, creativity. Part of what you're learning today is strategies, but it's also the hearts of women. Can you feel it? The hearts of women. So key number 9, everybody, whatever it is that you do, whether it's face-to-face Fridays, whether it's doing the big things, whether it's live streams or your show or your social media or your visibility videos, your PR, whatever it is that you do. And same thing with the inner work in your business and your heart. Whatever you do, what is one thing that you know is going to make it actually work? Put it in the comments down below. And I'll write in here what I think it is. It is you being consistent. It means you don't just do it once and then never do it again. You keep doing it over and over and over again. And sometimes it feels like it's not working. Sometimes you feel like, it's not working. Like I'm pouring all my energy into this, but your success is just on the other side of your resistance. 99% of the people give up when they're 99% of the way there. So don't give up just when you're just there. And don't make it, here's the thing, is that oftentimes women entrepreneurs will be like, but I did a masterclass and nobody showed up. And I'm like, yeah, but you did that. Did you do that masterclass consistently? I remember way back when I first started teaching yoga, I had no students. This was a long time ago, before I owned my studio. I had no students for weeks. And then my mom came because I asked her to, and she came. And then I had my mom. And then a friend came, and I had my mom and a friend. And then another friend of that friend came. And I was like, I have these 3 people for months. And I just showed up consistently at this class time over and over and over again. And eventually I had the biggest, most popular class in my city because I showed up consistently. I picked a time. I just dedicated myself no matter who was there, and I did it. How did I get that big following? It was from showing up consistently, just like I do. I've been doing virtual my online TV show for over 5 years now, and I show up every single week. Feel like it or don't, I show up and I do it. It's just like a health regimen. If you want to get healthier and you want to do it through eating better, you have to eat better consistently. You can't just like eat one meal of the week as healthy and all the other meals as crap. If you want to get stronger muscles, you can't just do push-ups one time a year. You have to like lift weights and do the things consistently to get healthy. So consistency matters in your business. So what is one thing, everybody, that you need to be more consistent on? Let's hold you accountable. Put it in the chat right here, right now. Nobody gets away because you're here with me. Some of you are watching the stream, but there are a bunch of you who are behind the scenes with me in the production of this live stream, which is really cool. So put it in the chat. What do you know you need to get more consistent on? And we'll bring my beautiful desk cam down. What do you know you need to get more consistent on? Is it social media? Is it emails? Is it talking to your client? What is it that you need to be more consistent on? Direct reach outs, holding a weekly face-to-face. Like, what is the thing that you need to be more consistent on? And I invite you to put it in the chat right now, and I invite no one here, whether you're watching the replay or you're here with me live, to sit back and do nothing right now. Because if you don't put it in the chat right now, it's an indicator to your business about your willingness to get visible, be consistent. Yes? So I see women are writing follow-ups, consistent social media, emails, sharing my work online. This is so good. You women are bold and brave and courageous, and you're really doing the work. Speaking of bold, brave, and courageous, are we ready for our next guest, everybody? Are we ready for our next powerful, incredible, amazing, wonderful guest? This is going to be incredible. Deidre, yes. So we're new to each other. A couple women on this live stream who I have adored for years, and a couple of women who I met recently, and I'm like, I need you on my next live stream because you have a powerful message and a beautiful heart. So Deidre and I are also new to each other. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let me tell everybody a little bit about you, and then we'll dive into your journey and your lesson for today. So Deidre Towns is the expert you call when it's time to change old patterns so that you can get better outcomes. You see why I brought her up here today? So she offers tools to keep you grounded through uncertainty and expands your capacity to hold all you're creating. So as women entrepreneurs, you're creating so much. Capacity is important. She's going to be talking about foundations of freedom and fulfillment for smart, busy people. How many of you are smart and busy? Put me in the comments down below. So foundations of freedom. I'm excited for this, Deidre. Thanks again for being here. Let's start with your journey.
Sure.
How did you come to be an entrepreneur and a leader? Tell us a little bit about that.
I am born into a family of leaders. So I come from a family there are lots of ministers and pastors of churches and teachers and college professors. I have a big family. My mom's got a lot of brothers and sisters. And my father served in Congress for 30 years. And so I grew up in the political fishbowl. And I learned so many valuable lessons In that was my experience. It was a very unique experience growing up, but I can honestly say that I have seen the underbelly of the beast. And as I ventured into my own journey of personal growth and development, I was able to contextualize a lot of what I saw. And what was there for me is that I was seeing people who are leading, people in leadership. And if anyone is watching the news or paying attention to politics, as we are having an election this year, if you're in the United States, you know that it's a I don't want to curse show. And so but what is that? And what I found is that people are literally leading from the fractured parts of themselves, right? And so for me, the biggest lesson and the thing that I teach about is about wholeness and about how to come into wholeness and how to integrate all the parts of yourselves, the parts that you like and the parts that you're not so happy with, the parts that you try to hide, the parts that you might have shame around. There's so much value to bringing all those pieces together. And that's a lot of what my work is about, and what becomes possible and available to you when you do that, when that is integral to your way of living in the world.
Wholeness.
Wholeness.
I love that you bring this in, because as women leaders, we were talking about this earlier in the day, that sometimes we even fracture ourselves in order to be leading in a system that's like an old paradigm. And it's not working. It's not working for a lot of women.
It does not work.
They're here.
It does not work.
It is not sustainable.
And you blame yourself. You blame yourself.
Yeah, you go,
and it's
"There must
not
be something
really
wrong
your
with me."
fault.
Yeah.
Right. Because
Yeah.
women tend to do that. If women go shopping and the clothes don't fit, we think something's wrong with us. Men go shopping, they think something's wrong with the clothes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Breakthrough right there. That's incredible. Deidre, I'm sure you've also been through some challenging time in your leadership journey as a speaker, an author, and a coach. Like, what's something that you've been through that has been tough, that has taught you?
You know, growing up in the political fishbowl had me come up with an adverse relationship to my magnetism. I didn't want the attention. I had too much attention. It made me uncomfortable. And so for me to be in business, I've had to work through a lot of that, because you have to put yourself out there. You have to put yourself out there. You have to talk to people. You have to get up and speak in the room, right? You have to welcome people in. You have to get masterful with intimacy and vulnerability. All of that is really important. And so those were some of the challenges I had to overcome, because I grew up in the fishbowl, but I am masterful at hiding in plain sight. Being in a room full of people, talking to everyone and not letting anyone really know me or feel me. And so I had to unlearn so much of that.
Was there
And
a
I
point
bring
that
a
you
lot of that
came
into
to
my
that you
work.
realized you were doing that you were like, wait, I'm hiding in plain sight and I can't do this anymore?
Oh, absolutely. I ran for office.
Incredible.
I ran for office in 2011. I ran for office, and that was a monumental experience. I didn't win, and I'm glad I didn't win, but I'm very grateful for the experience.
Yeah. Well, who knows what's in the future, right?
Who knows?
And so many women here, like we've got women leaders and women entrepreneurs, both here behind the scenes with us and also watching our streams. And it's like, how many women here are still hiding? You're in plain sight. Like, I can totally relate. I've got my business all over the place, but there's still a part of me that's hiding.
Right. The piece we don't want anyone to see. And there's like a gift in there, if you will have the courage to come out of the shadow.
Because a gift, if you have the courage to come out of the shadow. Are you all
There's a
writing this
gift
down?
in there.
Deidre, teach us a little bit, like just claim the floor for a few minutes here and teach us,
Absolutely.
how would you pull women out of the shadows? How do you get them to that freedom?
Okay. So I want to start by asking you guys, why did you go into business? You know, Simon Sinek, everybody, if you've done any of this for any amount of time, you know Simon Sinek, it's what's your why? Like, what's your why? Can you write that in the comment, a little brief phrase in the chat? I'm sorry. Can you put that in the chat? What's your why? Anybody? I'm not seeing anybody. I'm going to keep going.
Sometimes they take a minute to really feel
It's
into
okay.
it.
I know the internet is interneting. And so,
There they come.
yeah, it's like, right, for your children and your community, because you want to be of service, right? Because you want to create a living and a legacy of love, right? These are all really, really beautiful, beautiful things. Oh, supporting the people who have health challenges, women's empowerment, all of these things. Decolonization, super important. Everyone sounds like they're on a really big mission. And part of the reason we choose a really big mission is because it helps us feel fulfilled. It's the thing that fulfills us, right? In the giving, right? In the giving, in the doing of our mission, we get filled up. We get to be fulfilled. And if you're in business for yourself, I know a lot of people want to be an entrepreneur because they want the freedom. They want the time freedom. They want money freedom, right? And so you're in the business and you want the freedom and fulfillment, and you think, yes, this is the answer. This is the answer. This is the pathway for me to get to this state of being of freedom and fulfillment. But what no one tells you before you pull the trigger is all of the things that come with being an entrepreneur, right? With having your own business. And I'm going to name a few. The list is too long for me. I don't have enough time here to state all the things, but I made a list. You have to create a unique value proposition. You have to set realistic goals, but be flexible because the goals are going to change. You have to know how to scale. You have to balance growth and stability. You have to make some money. And when you do make the money, then what do you do with the money? How do you price your offer? How do you stay out of Uncle Sam's crosshairs? How do you comply with email regulations? I was just working on that this week because Gmail and Yahoo have changed their requirements. You have to protect your intellectual property. You have to get customer feedback and testimonials. You have to build a brand identity. You have to have a marketing strategy. You have to learn digital marketing. The list, I could go on. There's like 50 more things on the list. And so it almost can feel like a bait and switch. Like you signed up for this thing because you wanted this freedom and you want this fulfillment. And when you start digging into the weeds and you start taking the classes and the webinars and doing all the things, it doesn't feel so free and it doesn't feel so fulfilling very often. And you're like, what the hell? like, how did I get here? And so perhaps the problem is the way you're seeing, right? So one of the things that's really important in my work is being aware of the shadow, right? Whenever we decide we want to do something, we tend to just look at the thing we want. And there's a lot of personal development, spiritual, especially personal development, that's got a little bit of Pollyanna positivity. You only want to focus on the positive. You only want to focus on what you want to create. I come from a different school of thought around being aware of what's really there, what's really present for you, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it makes you a little scared, even if it makes you angry. You can't heal what you won't reveal. So you want to be free and fulfilled. And the problem, I would say, is you're trying to get freedom and fulfillment by focusing on things outside of yourself. The business is not going to make you feel free and fulfilled. The work is not going to make you feel free and fulfilled. States of being, freedom and fulfillment is a state of being, and it is something that you generate from within yourself. So in our culture, though, right, we are taught that if you have the things or you have the money, then you can do what you want, and then you can be happy, fulfilled, satisfied, powerful, free. Name any of the states of being that's on your value list. And the truth is that it's not a have, do, be, it's a be, do, have, right? You got to be first. You got to be the thing first. So if you've done any amount of basic rudimentary spiritual development work, you've been in this conversation about be, do, have, and they talk about it's about being. You just have to be the thing. You have to be in the energy of it. Come on now. Do they really? Do they really?
Ow.
Ow. Ow, Sway.
Right. Like because
Right?
it's so powerful. Like it comes from this state of being internally, but then we're
How
still
do you
stuck in
generate the
it.
state of being? How do you
We do
generate the
that.
state of being, right? So I'm going to offer you that freedom and to be free and fulfilled is to attend to how you see. How you see shapes who you be in the world. I'm going to say it again. How you see shapes who you be in the world. Be meaning your state of being. So we all have lenses. We all have lenses, and we all have multiple lenses that we wear. And I don't have too much time to go into this, but some of us wear a victim lens. Some of us wear a trauma lens. Some of us wear a privilege lens. Some of us wear a busy lens. I know you know people who are they're just so busy. They can't do anything because they're so busy, right? But that's a lens that they're wearing. And I'm going to submit to you that if you can remove your lenses and get connected to your essential self, you will multiply your magnetism exponentially. And that's what I teach.
Deidre, we need more of you. I want to do a deep dive interview with you so that we can dig into these topics. How many of you are just moved right now? Put M in the comments down below. Like we know we need to dig into these pieces. And it's like when you're talking foundations for freedom, it's about a lot more than just like, oh, it's a freedom business because I set my own hours. There's so much more depth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah. Freedom is because freedom and fulfillment doesn't mean nothing happens. It means that you are masterful in the face of the stuff happening, of the lifing.
Yeah. What's
to be masterful is say again.
Go ahead on the masterful. That's more important.
Oh no, to be masterful in the face of crises and trauma, because being in business, it's going to happen, and it's you. You are the face of the business. You are behind the business. You are where the buck stops. And
you can't just like say, oh, life's happening, so I stop my business. I mean, some people can because they've got something else paying for them, but most of us are like, my business continues no matter what.
It has to for a lot of people. And so how do you build the capacity for that?
Yeah.
It's
what's a tangible tool
thing
that ladies could use today? Like what's something that they can use right here, right now?
For me, one of the most important things is nervous system regulation. Number one is being aware of when you are dysregulated. Many people are dysregulated as their natural state. And the natural state would be homeostasis, right? Your homeostatic level, where you live basically, is a state of dysregulation for many people. And so I do some work around, it's called the stress reset methodology, where I teach people how to, number one, recognize when they're dysregulated and give them tools for regulating themselves. And the most efficient, easily accessible way to do that is breath. Can you slow yourself down? Can you recognize, oh, I'm triggered, let me pause. Can you pause in the face of a trigger? Can you pause and then can you breathe? Because when your nervous system is dysregulated, your right brain and your left brain are not talking to each other. They are not working in concert, and you are at a disadvantage. It is not to your advantage to make decisions, moves, or really speak too much when you're in that dysregulated space.
Yeah. So pause and breathe. Women entrepreneurs who are juggling life, oftentimes family, all the things, like they're running around in the nervous systems. I know this too. I burnt out a long time ago because my nervous system was just like, yeah, 18-hour days, 7 days a week. I can do it all.
Yes.
It's not.
No. Right.
It doesn't happen. So thank you for
for that. It takes courage to ask for help.
Yeah.
Use a lifeline.
Yeah, use a lifeline, everybody.
Use a lifeline.
That's why I do things like this for women entrepreneurs. It's not because I'm like, hey, look at me, I'm leading a live stream. I'm like, women need tools. We need
Yes.
tools and we need connection. So what you're bringing here, Deidre, is like power. How can people find more of you? Like you've got something for everybody to tune
I do
into.
have something for everybody. I
Yes.
have a quiz. It is called Know Your It Factor, which is related to magnetism. So it is at my website, deidretowns.com/quiz. Very, very easy. My name is spelled DEIDRATOWNS, deidretowns.com/quiz. You can find it there. You can reach me, find me on the socials. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and just about everywhere. I'd love to hear from you.
Thank you for that. Can you all see why I invited Deidre to be on this? Like when we met, I was like, oh my gosh, you're magnetic. And I barely knew what it was you do. And then when I found a little bit more about it, I was thinking my women will absolutely resonate with your message. So I appreciate you so much for taking the
Thank
time
you so
to be
much.
here. What do you want to leave everybody off with today? Some words of inspiration and wisdom.
You are always winning the game you're playing. So if you're not getting the results you want, think about what game you're playing and maybe play another game.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate you and can't wait to have you on more. Everybody make sure you click Deidre's link. What is it that you see in Deidre that you want to put into your own business? Like what qualities do you see in her that you want to embody in yourself and yourself as a leader? Put it in the comments down below right now. Also give her some love and gratitude and my behind the scenes crew, some sparkly fingers, our little round of applause here. Thanks everybody. And thanks Deidre. Really cool. Like, I'm just floored by the power of the women who are joining us on this day. It is really, really incredible. So we're going to get Deidre's camera pulled down and my magic desk cam down for just a moment too. We'll bring that back up in a moment. There we go. My team behind the scenes has just been like working with me all day. They're incredible. So are you all loving this? Like, yes, authentic feminine power, wisdom, softness, power, gratitude. These women are powerful and incredible, and they can lead you through to your next level. Who's having breakthroughs today? Like things are moving in you. Put me in the comments down below if things are starting to move in you and the shifts you're noticing. You can't do it alone. You need support to actually have it happen. And this is why I brought this forward for you all. This is why I wanted to make sure that you all have the support and the encouragement to get out there and do big things, bring your magic to the world and have it work in a new paradigm way, like not the old system, but a new way, not the old masculine or like this push like system of marketing and business that you just dressed up in a dress and called it feminine. It is a brand new paradigm. And we're leaning into this and bringing yourselves to the heart and the core of it with the wisdom that you've been hearing from these women. Absolutely powerful. Who's ready for another key? Put yes in the comments down below and we'll bring my magic webcam up. Who's ready for another key? Because I have another one for you here. And this one is really powerful. To be a magnetic influence. We've talked about things like leading by example and doing big things and staying in your lane and listening to your people, giving with your heart. So many pieces. And this one brings a lot of it together. So number 10 is as much as possible in your communities, when you can do this one thing, it sets you apart as an influencer, a leader, a go-to expert. And you do not have to be an expert at doing this. You just need to be able to do it. You can bumble through it and it still brings people towards you. And you can do it, and please do it imperfectly. Please just be real when you do it. And this one is speak. Whether you are on a live stream, on a summit, how many of you have been inspired by the women here today? Put your hands up. It's whether you're being featured on something, you're speaking on different events, or whether you host your own events. The more that you can speak, the more that you can get your message out there, the more clients you'll get. There's a direct correlation between how much you speak and how much impact you make in the world, between how much you speak and how many clients you end up bringing into your world. There is an absolute direct correlation. So speaking is really going to help you to Bring your message to more people. How many of you know that this is true? Put speak in the comments down below. And I love to have a goal for speaking. Like, do you want to be featured on an online virtual summit or a stage? We've got trainings coming up for that this spring. Do you want to be, do you want to have your own show? I teach a show host academy where I teach women entrepreneurs to have their own online TV show in 30 days or less. Do you want to stand on bigger stages? Do you want to be featured on summits as an access point to landing a TED Talk, keynotes, bigger events? So what is it that you want when it comes to speaking? And I see lots of you saying speak in the comments down below. Put it in the comments. What's the one thing that you want speaking to open up for you? Like, what's the one door you want it to open up? Put it in the comments. Maybe it's a specific stage, or maybe it's just accessing more community. Maybe it's reaching more people and gaining more clients. What is the one thing that it could open up for you? Put it in the comments. And Tanya has started us off by saying the GrowthCon stage. That's a big stage that she wants to be on, and it is so cool. So put it in the comments, everybody, while I take a sip of water. Actually, I put tea in this. GrowthCon stage, increased impact. Hey, Carla. Beverly, more clients and travel, and it can open up so many doors. So get speaking. And whether you speak in your local community center or yoga studio or on a big stage, you stand in that position of expert. And when you stand in that position of expert, it actually unlocks the influence. And remember, influence is this power to affect change without force. You speaking, you become radiant. You don't even have to be a good speaker. We have speaker trainings. You don't even have to be a great speaker. You just have to be willing to stand on that stage and own what it is that you want to talk about, and people will be drawn towards you. There is nothing more magnetic than that. Yes, to video podcasts. Like, that's one of the things that I teach as well. It's really, really cool. So for those of you who are ready to get some support with this, to take it to the next level, to really stand in the position of entrepreneur, because here's what I know. There are two types of entrepreneurs, two types of people. We'll get my little desk cam brought down. There are two types of people. One are the dabblers. They take all the different courses. They attend all the free stuff. They dabble in everything. They're incredible people, and they know a little bit about everything, and they've taken a lot of different things, and they're wonderful people. But the thing is, they never quite have the results in their businesses that they want. There's those kind of entrepreneurs, and they're wonderful, but they have a hard time actually going deep on something, being committed, and having the financial impact on their own lives that they want, and really having a deep and true impact on people in the world because they haven't stayed consistent. They're the dabblers. And then there are doers, the ones who just take action steps forward. They get speaking engagements, they put courses together. You know that they're the people who they're like, how do people magnetize towards them? It seems like they barely have to do anything, and clients magnetize towards them. They're the doers. They're the ones who take action even when it's scary. They're the ones who make videos even when they're like, my imposter syndrome's coming up. They're the ones who keep working on their business even when something says you should go get a job instead because this is too freaking hard. But they keep doing. They're magical unicorns and incredible people. And if you're over on the dabbler end of the spectrum, I'm a bridge to get you from dabbler to doer. That's part of my role in my service to women entrepreneurs, is to help you bridge that gap, to know exactly what to do to get from dabbler over into the place where you are confident doing the things in your business to make it work. So for those of you who are ready to be doers, I have a few spots left for 15-minute breakthrough sessions. I've made them totally free, and I'm going to help you figure out what that gap is, what you've been missing, because oftentimes it's a subtle shift to bring your marketing forward, to fill your events, to fill your programs, to get you clients coming in and actually have you feel like, I can do it. How many of you want to feel like I can do it? Just nod your heads. You want that feeling like, I can do this, and it matters. So, Jennifer, that's not the link. Let's delete that one because that's an old one. I will delete that one. But it is this link right here. Here we go. Right there. So I have a few availabilities in my calendar. Normally, I don't make these available free. I work with my clients in our long-term programs. I'm dedicated to those women that I work with who are my clients in my inner circle. but sometimes I make calendar sessions available for you all. So this is one of your last chances to get on my calendar until later in March or April. So grab one of these spots, put your name and email address in, and I'll help you have a rapid breakthrough in what the piece is missing in your business that you need to fill in. What is the subtle shift that you need to make? What is the one thing that you can do to bring what you've learned here today into grounded action? That's what I want to help you to do. So I love that some of you have got on my calendar already, and make sure that you click that link and grab a spot, because once they're gone, they are gone. And I love talking to women entrepreneurs, and there's no strings attached as well. It's just a calendar session. If we want to talk more about working together, we'll book a different session for that. All right. So I'm excited to meet you there, Gloria. All right. Oh my gosh. I'm excited because we have another magnetic, amazing speaker who's going to come up onto the stage here in a moment. Are you? Oh, there she is, Carla. Are you excited, everybody, about having another speaker? Put yes in the comments down below if you are looking forward to this, because our final speaker of the day is Carla Sampson, and she is a beautiful, magnetic sister. You're going to adore her. I've known her for a number of years, and she's all heart, and she's also just like flow and magnetism. She's one of the coolest women that I know, and I'm so glad that you're here, Carla.
I say it right back at you, Elizabeth. You're one of the coolest women I know. And yeah, I feel blessed to be the very last. I know, at the end of learning a lot, energy can start to like go inwards. And so my intention here is that we elevate, we like keep it rolling and keep it moving.
Yes, we do. Oh, I love this. Okay, let me introduce you, because that's going to elevate some people to know like who this powerful woman is. She's a brand director and strategist at Create Your Signature Soul Brand. Carla currently serves as the brand director at Influex, a world-class brand and website design agency. Can you see why I brought her on, everybody? Carla has brought her unique blend of visionary creativity and strategic insight to the brands of industry icons. We were talking about being iconic earlier. Known for her keen eye for style and love for feminine embodiment, Carla founded her brand Avatara, and you can find her on Instagram, specifically working with female leaders in embodying and refining their brand expression. So I am so excited, Carla, to have you Create Your Signature Soul Brand. Can you all just give like a little full body wiggle for this? Like, Create Your Signature Soul Brand today. So excited about this.
Yes, me too.
So let's have you start off with just sharing the weaving path of the journey that you've been on and how you've landed here.
Well, thank you so much for that invitation. And I'm so happy to see some familiar faces on here. And like most of us on our journey of finding our purpose on this planet. I know for many of you guys what you actually do, because you're in this room with Elizabeth, and Elizabeth being one of the most authentic, powerful business women that I know that probably you are on either a search for or are very much in living on purpose with your mission, with what it is that lights you up. Just give me a yes in the comments if you do something for work that lights you up, that you love to do, that is like your fullest expression. You are so passionate about it. Give me a yes here. All right, I'm seeing lots of yeses already coming through. And so for me, in the very beginning and early stages of my kind of career moving in towards what it is that I wanted to do, I wasn't actually feeling all that fulfilled. I was going into different fitness styles of jobs that I liked, and they all felt fun, but it didn't really feel like I was living my purpose or living my soul's mission. I had this feeling like there was something greater, there was something more there for me. And at the very same time, I was really excited and really interested in a lot of different things. So I was taking all these different certifications and I was learning all these different things. Give me a nod if you guys know what I'm talking about. If around like taking 1,000 different styles of trainings and certifications, and it's like, all right, I've gotten really good at a lot of things. but I really don't know how to bring it all together. And I really don't know how to like actually speak my purpose and like speak into what my message is for this planet. And so just like many of us, as what I like to call multidimensional women, I went on a major journey into trying to discover, how do I bring all of these things into one space? And around that very same time, I was very blessed, like many of us, to discover that offering our services on the internet was something that we could do, right? And so I started to get this idea, like, could I create an offering that was more than just what it was that I did, and actually bring all of these different pieces of what I love to offer into one space? And what I didn't realize at the time was that I was doing something called creating a brand. And so I was bringing all of my gifts and all of my offerings into one space and plugging it into a name. And at that time, my company, my business was called Fempreneur. And so I was creating this beautiful experience where I was bringing all of my gifts into one space and then realizing, oh my gosh, this is actually brand. This is brand creation, is to be able to bring all of our many gifts and all of our many ways of being and all of the things that we do and all of our services and everything that we do as an offering into one single channel. And I became so obsessed with this idea of like, oh my gosh, I can actually be a multidimensional creature and bring all of these things into this one space, that I completely reshifted my niche about 5 or 6 years ago from feminine embodiment into brand creation. And that's where this idea and this experience of what I call signature soul brand came through. It's, how do I take all of my many channels, all of my many gifts, and pull them into one single space that then can be of service to others? And so signature soul brand is really the refinement of our purpose. It's the refinement of who we are, and then bringing all of that into one space. And so that's long story short.
There's so many ways that it weaves and ups and downs, and women here can relate because we're so creative and passionate. We want to take all the trainings. I can totally relate, like decades and many tens of thousands of dollars in trainings. And then it's like, oh, but I want to do all of them. And I don't want to cut myself off. A lot of women have that. But what you're speaking to right now is bringing it in together. And that is really powerful, because we don't have to cut off a part of ourselves. We were talking about this when we started the day as well, that we don't want to have to do an old paradigm or cut off parts of ourselves, because that's not holistic. That's not the whole picture of our hearts and our souls and everything. So your process really brings people into a holistic picture. So can you share a little bit about that process and how women can step into their own signature soul brand?
Absolutely. Shall we just go through the process together now?
Let's do it.
Are you guys up for it? Give me a yes in the comments if you would like a little bit of a journey into the refinement of your signature soul brand. Oh yeah.
Yes, I
Because
love it. And those of you all watching on all this,
day.
I know it's going to be so good. Carla, should I just give you the floor right now for a few minutes and you can guide everybody through this?
Totally up to you. Completely.
Let's do it.
I love your beautiful face on here too, though.
I love it. I want everybody to just focus on you so that they can focus on their brand for about 3-4 minutes. So let's do this.
All right, guys. So you might want to have a journal next to you, unless you'd prefer to type it into the chat. Okay. Actually, let's go ahead and type it into the chat. But you might just want to do a little screenshot once you've typed it in, just so that you can keep it and that it's still yours to take with you. All right. So this process of going into our signature soul brand always starts by going inwards towards ourselves. And so if it feels comfortable and good for you in this moment, I'm actually going to invite you to take a pause and to close your eyes. And you're welcome to keep your eyes open, but if it helps you to go inwards towards yourself, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes here for a moment. We'll just have our eyes closed for just a moment. Let's just take one really good deep breath in and out here, just finding our center, finding this space and turning our gaze and our attention from the external into the internal. And I want you to feel for a moment into your body. Your body has such a beautiful capacity to create feeling, emotion, sensation. And so as you tune into your body and this ability to create sensation, I want to invite you to imagine that you are standing on a stage and you are doing that. I believe it's the 10th step of the process. You're speaking on your stage. And you're looking out there at the audience and looking at all of these faces of all of these people that have come here specifically to see you and to hear your message, to receive your wisdom, your teachings. And they're all smiling, they're very open, very receptive to what it is that you're bringing to this stage here today. And I want you to get into the feeling for a moment. I just invite you to ask yourself and ask your own internal self, how do I desire these people in the audience to feel in my presence? Not just what they think, but how do they feel in my presence? And allow for a few words to start to emerge. And maybe you even feel it in your body. And allow for yourself to feel it here in your body. And then I'm going to invite you to take one really good deep breath in and out here. And then very slowly reopen the eyes and go ahead and type into the chat. And let me know, maybe there's a few words of how people feel when they're in your presence, experiencing your message, getting to hear your words. Love, connected, reassured. I love that, Rachel. Love, acceptance of themselves. Beautiful, Gloria. Healthy, happy, and safe. Beautiful, Beverly. Christina, freedom, acceptance, and connection. I love that. Yes, yes, yes. And can you actually feel it in your body? Like, can you actually summon those feelings as you're bringing that through? Seeing Elizabeth.
One word that came through for me, Carla, was just like the women feel like possibility. And what you just guided us through, like I could feel it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do feel that in your presence, Elizabeth. I feel possibility when I'm around you. It's like this, yeah, it's like what's next? What's available? And so this is the first step of our signature soul branding process, right? Because when we can create a feeling, when we understand the feeling of how we desire for people to feel in our presence, we can start the process of creating an aesthetic that allows for people to feel what it is that we're intentionally desiring them to feel. Now this is a 7-layered dip, so there's 7 more pieces of this experience, and I just wanted to give you just the tiniest little first layer of the cake. But what I would love to do is come up with one little question that I'm going to invite you guys to contemplate. And so my next invitation for you is to write down, just go unfiltered and write down 6 different things that you love. And when I say things that you love, it's all about the category of, is it valuable to you? Is it valuable to others? Do you love to do it? And do you love to give it to the world? Right? And so those 6 pieces, is it valuable to you? Is it valuable to others? Do you love to do it? And do you love to give it to the world? That would be my next question for you, right? Give 6 of those. And then we go from there. I'm going to keep going here, guys. I'm going to go all the way in, and then you can do this writing later. From there, I'm going to invite you to refine that into 3, right? So if I write down, okay, I love to do branding. I love to do, I love to give women, like women's movement, embodiment pieces. Okay, I love to create style, right? Doing style. And so I'm writing about 6 of mine down, and then it's like, okay, how do I actually pull some of those in to create 3 different categories? So all of a sudden I'm starting to understand, okay, wow, so branding could be one of them, right? Women's embodiment is another piece. And then the third piece, finding that is like ceremony. I love to create ceremony and really pull people in. And so it's like, oh, I now have these 3 different pieces that are actually mine. It goes 1 layer deeper, and that's around it goes through 4 layers deeper, and that's around finding an archetype and a character. And that's how we do Signature Soul Brand. We actually define you in the marketplace as a character, an authentic character that is yours. And so that's the process of Signature Soul Brand.
It's beautiful. Can you feel the depth of it, everyone? I can see a lot of people nodding into this. I'm so glad that you have a next step for us because you've got a quiz. Do you want to tell everybody about that? It just seems like the perfect moment.
Yeah, so one piece that I love to play at with creating characters, because that's really how I develop brands. And, I develop brands for lots and lots of people. I happen to be the visionary behind many incredible brands. And I love to create them as characters. And so what I mean by that is that, just like being a character in a movie, when we're scrolling on Instagram or we're scrolling on Facebook or wherever we're scrolling, we can see these different characters and how they start playing out through our content, through our messaging. And so one fun way to help you to create your character is to understand what is your brand archetype. Some of you guys may have taken a quiz like this before, but I created a very unique one that is more designed for the feminine genius. And so it helps you to discover what is your unique brand archetype. So you can go ahead and click on that link that's in the chat there and discover your unique brand character.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. So it's in the chat, everybody. And then out in our live streaming world, you can go in, Carla, or have a team member go in and like pop that into all the different places that we're streaming this right now, because this is just like a little behind the scenes production crew. So it can be out in the world. Thank you for dropping us in so beautifully. This is just the perfect weaving an end to this day in this live stream to bring everybody into this. And a lot of people might think like, oh, brand, and they think like, oh, it's just like my colors and my logo, but you bring so much more depth to it and the truth of what a brand really, really is. What's something that you want to leave these ladies off with today?
I just want to let you guys know that no matter where you are on your journey of entrepreneurship, of coaching, of, whatever your offering is for the world, starting to create your brand earlier in the phases of where you're at, I highly recommend. A lot of people think that they need to actually create the business and the company before creating the brand. I actually believe create the character and allow the character to really drive how you create and present all of your offerings in the world. And I feel like there's a new age of really allowing for branding to show our most authentic selves. And so lean into branding and have fun with it.
Thank you so much for this. We talked a lot about that today in terms of women showing up how they want to be, not how they were told to be, or not how they think like the business industry tells them to be, but how they truly desire to be. We started off the day with this, and it's beautiful and perfect that we wrap right around here and remember that it matters.
Why I created the brand Avatara, right, is because the avatar is like it's like a power character, right? So that's my invitation for you guys. Like, who's your power character, and how did they present themselves on the internet? Like, that's a fun curiosity.
Oh, that's so fun. Carla, I'm excited about your work and I love connecting with you and continue the weaving journey. So thank you so much for being here. Everybody, what do you see in Carla? What did she say that really landed for you? Put it in the comments right now. What do you see in her? What qualities in her that you see? You're like, I want to embody that avatar in my business. What did you see? What did you love? Put it in the comments. And as you're doing that as well, make sure you grab her beautiful gift. And those of you watching the stream out in the world, we're going to make sure you have that link in there too. Yes. Thanks, Beauty.
My pleasure.
So good.
Me.
Thank you. I get to be with the most beautiful, incredible, powerful, smart, intelligent, creative, badass women entrepreneurs in my life. Like I get to surround myself with women who are making a difference. And that's important. I remember doing my business way back when I was like being a healer and a yoga teacher and running a yoga studio and a wellness center and starting my magazine and starting my events company. I was doing all that alone. And doing it alone, I believe it wasn't the long days and the fact that I was juggling all the balls. It was the fact that I did it alone that put me on that path to burnout back then. And it was just like full stop, like my body, my soul, my heart, nothing would continue. And it was being with other women entrepreneurs that resurrected my heart, that made me feel like I can do this again. And so if you're ever feeling like you're like, I am alone, I don't have the passion, make sure that you're with other women. Let's come back to my beautiful magic desk cam because I want to write this one down for you because it is our final tip of the day. I think it's cool that we end on 11. Yes, your final tip of the day is your proximity to other people who are doing what you're doing. Like make sure that you align, and it's alignment. Align your heart and your soul and your business with other women who are doing what you do. How many of you have been inspired by the women that you've seen here today? Put yes in the comments down below. You're just like, oh, and how many of you, maybe somebody here had just a breakthrough that you were like, oh, I needed to hear this today because I was ready to give up. Or I needed to hear this today because I was listening to all the other voices that were telling me things that weren't true to my mission and to my soul's purpose, to my entrepreneurial journey. How many of you have had something come through that really mattered to you? It's all about what you put yourself in the proximity of, like continuing to take the trainings, continuing to lean into support and network in groups of people who are doing what you're doing. And I do events every single month for women entrepreneurs. I've got a really cool one coming next month because it's International Women's Day and there's an equinox happening. So I've got some really, really wonderful things coming for that. And make sure that you stay in proximity. And I'm seeing some of you write things in the chat that have come through today from all of the different speakers. Like, what have you learned from all the speakers? Just think of some of those things and put it in the chat right now. Was it staying in alignment? Was it being of service? Was it embodying your message? Is it being magnetic? Is it just keep going even when you go through challenging times? Put it in the chat right now. What stood out to you, whether you're watching online or you're here behind the scenes with us? What's something that really stood out to you and is going to make a difference for your business? And maybe it's some of the keys that we've also been sneaking into in between the speakers. Maybe it's being magnetic means leading by example, and you're going to lean into that more, or really solving a micro problem so that you can stand out and having a micro offering. So you're not offering all the things, but it's just like one little piece, just like you saw Carla just do. She's like, here's one piece of this beautiful system that we do. One piece. Maybe it's hooking people, like it's grabbing attention online through your titles. Perhaps it's engaging using questions, something really simple, a really simple tactic. Maybe it's listening to your people more and caring about them. Giving. Being of service and giving up front, give value to people, especially on the internet and in your communities. Perhaps it's staying in your lane, like this one, especially your upfront lane, and then all your magic can come out on the back end. Perhaps it's doing big things. What's a big thing that you want to do, that you want to hold yourself accountable for? Maybe it's being consistent, continuing to post or offer events, or even the consistency of putting an hour a day on your calendar, 4 days a week to actually work on your business. Things like your brand, things like your marketing, things like your social media, things like working on your courses and programs. Because if you're not filling your courses and programs, it could be consistency. Perhaps speaking stood out to you. Like you saw all these speakers here and you're like, I want to be on stage. How many of you would love to be on my next stage? Put me in the comments down below. And maybe it's really leaning into the proximity of other women entrepreneurs who you know can make a difference for you. Like imagine if your income could double or 10x. Imagine if the amount of your client base could be 3 times as much as it is right now, just because you're in proximity to other people. It's really, really powerful. So what has been your biggest learning today? Put it in the comments down below. Put it in the comments down below, and I'm seeing some. So Tanya says, confidence comes from courageous actions. That's really good. Flip back through your notes because I'm going to tell you about how to win a prize here in a moment. Rachel says, be of service and community. Oh, absolutely. Beverly says, being in this community is magical. Absolutely. Yes. Tanya says, face-to-face coffee events. That was inspiring. I'm on the path to doing that. So it was a good reminder of like, yes, it's going to work. Gloria says, don't compare to myself to other Fempires and Fempreneurs. I like it. Christina, I've seen you today speaking your truth and magnetizing your light and message of mission. Beautiful. Gloria speaking from my authentic self. And Rachel says, niche down micro. There's so much here. And my biggest recommendation to you is continue on the journey. And those of you who are really ready to continue on this beautiful journey and dig into how you can really implement everything that you've learned here today. Let's pull my magic webcam down. If you want to know how to implement everything that you've learned here today and take it to the next step, if you'd like a coach's eyes on your business so you can see the holes. I can see the holes that the gaps in your business within 10 minutes. Jump on a quick chat with me. It's a breakthrough call, and I'll put it in the chat right now for you. I have a few spots available on my calendar. That's it until next month. I don't have anything available except for these ones. I rarely do free calls with women, but I want to, but I'm always busy with the women who are in my long-term programs. So these calls are really, really special. And I know that you're busy, so I made them short and potent, and you can dive in deep. We can figure out what your gap is, make a subtle shift, and send you on your way to getting clients, being more magnetic, speaking on stages, doing the things that you know are going to move your business forward. So grab a spot. This is your last chance to grab one of those spots in my calendar. And I can't wait to have conversations with some of you. We're going to dive in deep and have beautiful conversations. So some of you have already booked in, and I would love to see some more of you, meet some more of you, hear about your businesses, and help you with a little shift. If it's a fit for us to work together further, we'll book a separate session. So that's not what this session is for. It's just my give to you. And I want to hear about you and your businesses and your hearts. Does that sound cool? Put yes in the comments down below. You're welcome. Put yes in the comments down below if that sounds like an amazing opportunity, just a sweet, potent chat that we're going to have together. Now, you've learned so much from this powerful day. And in the beginning, we were talking about some things that I want to bring back in, some things that are important in your business as we are in a new paradigm. And this is something I've been really feeling into. I shared in the beginning as well about how I was pushing myself to fit into this model of this is how business is, and this is online business, and I'm supposed to do it this way, even though I was like, this is leading me down the path to burnout again. And I promised myself 15 years ago that I would never do that again. And I found myself coming closer to that place that my body and my adrenals know that feels like burnout. Have any of you ever made a decision? You're like, I'm not going to do that. And then you find yourself like coming back towards it. And that's why I'm doing this work now, because there is a new paradigm emerging. There's something different emerging from the times that we're coming through over the past few years, where women leaders are going, wait, I don't want to just do the old system of business, a system of business that doesn't fit with my heart. It doesn't work anymore. And so if you're ready for a new paradigm, just keep leaning into it, loves, because you can do this, and you can have your business feel amazing again. You can have clients pouring in, you can have income coming in, and you can feel that it is easeful. And you do not have to get into stress or overwhelm with it. Who's with me on that? But yes, if you're with me, like stress, overwhelm, burnout is not a place we go to. And it means you choosing your way to do it. Put yes in the comments down below if that is you. I can see you putting yes. And if you're watching online as well, do the yes. Yes. And that's my dedication for all of you, is that you just keep moving forward, but you do it with listening to your heart and your soul and your voice. It doesn't mean that it won't involve work. That is an illusion. If you're a full-time entrepreneur and you don't have anybody else like funding your life, it means that there will be work involved, but it can feel really good and really juicy and really wonderful and really nourishing. So I hope that you have loved this day as we are wrapping up. I'm going to stick around here. If any of you have questions that you would like to ask, you can pop them in the chat. Maybe specific things about your business or just more love you want to put in the chat. That would be super cool. But we are officially wrapping up the Magnetic Influence live stream. And I hope that you all move forward knowing that you can do this in your own way, that it doesn't have to be an old paradigm and your heart can touch so many people. You can truly have ROI, ripple of impact, like on the world. Because when women leaders are doing what we're doing, we are having an impact. We're having a ripple effect. And it does make a difference. Look at the world right now. Like we need healing and we need light and we need every single one of you. How many of you know that's true? Nod your heads if you know it's true. Yes. So put it in the chat. What are you taking away from this day? What questions do you have? And I'll say goodbye to our wonderful live streamers out there in the world who may be watching this live or who may be watching the replay. Send me a message. You can get on my calendar or we can have a chat. Send me a message if you love this day. Send me a private message. It's me that answers it, not a robot. So it's actually me. If you Facebook or Instagram message me, I would love to chat with you all. So those of you who are watching the live